Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tombs of Scoria. Today, we have a very special episode for you. We have the castle building episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
I have given the players a snippet of the book that we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with the 2nd edition AD&D Dungeon Master Guide, Rules Supplement, the Castle Guide. And we're going to be looking at pages, I want to say it's 48 through... Well, 48 through 53 are all the variables, and then there's like definitions and descriptions on through page 59 or something like that. I've already gone through this and built a couple sample castles, one of them very recently for you guys, so we can sort of dig in here. Before that, is there anything we wanted to say or do, or are we just ready to hop right into castle building?
Koibu, we're ready to fucking go, okay?
We're ready to go.
We're ready to go.
Let's hop into it.
We're ready
And
to
let it be
hop-
known, we're going to be building the best fucking castle possible, because if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right, because the McGarrys do shit well.
We
So
might need
spare
some more
no
money,
expense.
though. Right?
No, we're good.
We're going to figure this one out.
We'll figure this one
We're going
out.
to figure this one out. How many followers do you guys have also, by the way?
I have a
Right.
fuckload.
What level are they?
So,
I don't know.
I've got no followers.
Oh.
I should have some, but I don't think I do.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
right. So, the biggest consideration when it comes to castle building is going to be where you're building your castle and for how many people you want your castle to be sized. If you want to build a castle that only holds 10 people at any given time, way different than building a castle that can house 100 people, right? Or 1,000 people. The first variable, or the second variable, how many people you have, we can talk about and sort of get some broad pictures of what's going on. Because as you all hit level 9 and build a keep, you are entitled to a certain number of followers. Now, these are people who want to serve you and will serve you, but they still need to be paid. They're not like freeloaders, or they're not free soldiers. They still need payment, but they want to work for you, and they will come out of the woodwork. So you don't have to like go find them and hire them and figure out if they're loyal or whatnot. These are people who are like these fucking folks, right?
They love us.
Yeah. So I've done some math. I've rolled some dice. Each of you are going to be getting... Shit, let me bring up my notepad here. 20 expert archers. Each of you are going to be getting 20 infantry with splint mail, morning stars, hand axes, and 60 infantry with leather armor, pikes, and short swords, and then some sort of like fancy guy that's higher level to lead everyone with that might have a magic item or two. So this means you're going to be getting 24. You're going to get
123
people each.
Oh, each? Wait, what?
Yeah. So it's 20 infantry with splint mail, morning stars, and hand axes. 60 infantry with leather armor, pikes, short
I missed
swords.
those.
20
Okay.
expert archers, each of you. So that's going to be about 300 people, plus 3 leaders, plus the people you've already hired. So when I do the math, Tombs of Scoria.
So we're looking at around 350 people. When you include like servants and stuff as well, right?
Yeah, so my total number that I came up was 407 people. If you accept all of these folks and you keep all of your existing servants and you hire some new ones to manage the massive size and the feeding of all these people and the carrying of the grounds, and a blacksmith and its family to keep things in repair, and a leather worker and his family to make your dragon armor, I came out with about 407 non-servants plus 56 servants for 463 people total.
Question. These new people who would be coming in, how does it work back in the day? Are these people who are going to be like swearing loyalty to us, and then like their kids are going to work for like the McGarry families?
They would be joining your ranks as hired warriors. If you treat them right and pay them well, they will probably stick with you until the end of their days or until they retire. If you establish that sort of intergenerational relationship with them, then their children may come and decide to work for you if they survive and produce children. Not all soldiers end up settling down and having normal families, so you might want to also like if you're interested in intergenerational followers, you might want to settle in a place that has other farmers and other peasants nearby who might want to join with you later on.
We need to be really careful about intergenerational people, because we have we're like right next to the fucking halfling people. So if they start breeding and making soldiers, they're all going to be halfling, half human. Not the best.
Yeah, that's true.
Not the
we
best
don't want the
warrior
McGarrys
stock, okay?
turning into.
Yeah, we don't want to be a freak show. We're not building the fucking Shire, okay?
Can halflings and humans mate?
They can mate, but they cannot produce offspring.
Oh,
Okay,
thank
perfect.
fucking God.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
fucking
Then they
God.
can go off base and do whatever
Can you imagine
crazy
6
shit they want.
generations down the line, the McGarrys turn into like a bunch of halflings just sitting around in like shitty dragon armor?
Seriously.
It's too big for them. They are. Yeah.
This was great grandpa's dragon armor. Look how big he was. So if you want your soldiers to like have people around that they can mate with and produce intergenerational, warriors, then you might need to import some other humans to live in the area. If you want,
We'll ship them in.
They'll come.
Sure,
Mail order brides.
They'll come.
it's a thing. Yeah, if you build it, they will come.
Okay, so I mean, if we're looking at like 500 people castle, that's going to be massive, right?
Yes, I did some rough calculations for a 460 whatever person castle, and it comes out to about 20 million gold at most, or I'm sorry, 20 million
Copper.
Oh,
copper.
200K.
that's more reasonable. 20
That's
million
very
gold seems
No,
unreasonable.
gold. 20 million.
Wait, how much money does Drakis make in a year?
Well, yeah, wait. 20
double
million
check this
gold. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I want the
I'm
revenue.
pretty sure you use the copper system.
And then I want the revenue less operating expenses for a net flow.
I watched your
Dracos.
building thing, and I think you put it in copper. It was 200K gold. But I could be wrong, I guess.
Yeah, let me just 122,865 times 1.1 times 1.3. Yes, it's 200,000 gold.
Yeah.
20 million copper. Right. And that was for building it not up in the
Correct.
riverlands. That was for building it in the forest a little bit south. If you want to build in the riverlands, it's going to get more expensive.
Yeah.
Does that also include like all the optional extras, or is that without any optional extras?
That includes a large castle with a wall that goes around it and a ditch or a moat around that, with 4 towers and a gatekeep and a drawbridge. And it has room for your soldiers and your servants, a blacksmith, a leather worker, a small stable that can house 8 horses. But then it includes like no other farmsteads, no other buildings around, no other support facilities. It doesn't include a dock, doesn't include any of that stuff. It's just like, here is a castle that can house everything that you want.
Yeah.
We clearly
we're gonna
need
need a port.
tower as well. A wizard's
We're going to
tower.
need a wizard tower, a port, aka a dock. And we should be able to cut these costs down. We have a few different ways that we were planning on doing that. I don't know if you want to talk about that now, but we can talk about that later. Now it's up to you.
Well, let's at least first experiment or talk about the number of people, because this is essentially a standing army, which is super expensive to upkeep. I don't know if you guys want to be upkeeping 400 soldiers or 300 soldiers or whatever it was. Where are my soldier counts?
Would it not be possible for us to like bring them in and say like, hey, we do want you and we are going to pay you. We can pay you like 1/4 of the regular wages. You're not going to be an army, but we just need you to live around here and then work like the fields and the jobs. You just be like normal farmers until like we need you. Would that ever be something that could happen?
So essentially, that's how most lords operate. They have peasants, and part of the peasants' taxes, part of what you owe your lord is X number of months of service in a year. And so once a year, your lord can call you up for a few weeks to a few months at a time, and you act as a soldier in that time, and the rest of the time you are doing your peasantry stuff. That is different than this. Those are like 0th level nobodies. This right here are actual soldiers who know what's up. Well,
like,
these ones
how many-
are 0th level.
What kind of standing army would the queen have? Like more than 400 men? Because it seems like a lot.
In times of peace, standing armies are pretty limited. You have like each of your castles will have some people who guard it, but if there's no imminent threat, you kind of keep your standing army really, really, really low, just enough to provide generalized security in case there's some sort of like bandits or raiders or, you know, something spontaneously pops up. You don't need a large standing army most of the time.
So like 400 seems kind of like overkill. It seems like the number the Queen might have.
Yeah, that's pretty overkill in times of peace.
So let's talk about this. These are people who currently aren't in the Dracissian army, but they're looking for work.
I was gonna say that's kind of weird. Shouldn't these people be drafted into the army already? Or
right. So again, we don't have a federalized army. There's not like one army that everyone gets drafted into. It's each regional leader raises armies, and then those armies are then commanded by other regional leaders. So it's like, you know, Los Angeles raises its army, San Diego raises an army, San Francisco raises an army, Sacramento controls all of those, and then like Washington D.C. controls all of the different state armies. So you've got like a really a decentralized leadership system, and that means that people don't have a generalized conscription. So someone might live somewhere and their lord didn't need extra soldiers, or maybe they've already done their service time, or maybe they happen to be in a caste where they're not going to get called up like that, and they're sort of free to go around and join whichever fighting force they want. And those are the sorts of people you'll be dealing with, sort of unbound warriors.
Gotcha.
Would it not be possible or smart then to, like, we own the land in the Riverlands, be like, hey, we'll give you a small land stipend, and make them our, I guess, peasants at that point?
Wouldn't we have to steal the land from the halfling farmers, though?
I mean, there's so much land there.
Wait, are we stealing the land, or is it already our land to lord?
This is our land.
No, I get that, but I'm saying it happened in Rome, where to pay back the soldiers, they stripped all the farmers of their lands and gave them to the soldiers as reward, and then there was like a massive famine that killed loads of people because none of the soldiers knew how to be farmers.
Is every single part of these lands, like, is this wall to wall inhabited by halflings? I'm sure there should be some.
Of course not. No, there's huge tracts of open space between the
villages.
Right.
Okay.
No, that's unworked land. You know, it would need to be cleared. You need to remove the trees and the rocks and level it. It would take time to get it into good farming condition, which can of course be done down the line after the war. If you want to like found a village around your castle and promise those lands to the soldiers, that can work.
Yes.
If you're going to do that, then you don't then we need to talk about, do you want to be able to keep large enough to house all your soldiers, or are they going to be like living in the village nearby and only coming into the keep during times of war?
I think it would be that
a
one.
barracks.
Yeah, so I think the goal would be you want to keep that can house, like, I don't know, 50, maybe 100 people or whatever, based on what's going on. But the soldiers are going to live surrounding it.
In the city.
Yeah, you don't want everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the goal. It's to have like a little village pop up, basically.
Yeah, so that will bring down your castle size and your castle costs quite considerably.
Add some costs for making a village, right?
The village costs will be there as well, but they'll be different because you'll make your village out of wood instead of making it out of stone, and that cuts your cost down by like 20, a factor of 20 or something.
Okay. So yeah, we'll keep like 50 during like times of peace in our keep as like guards and stuff, like kind of what we have now.
And there's an important question. Is our mom moving to our keep, or is she staying in Wicktron Rerenthra?
It's kind of up to us, right?
Because
I would probably say she comes with us.
This is really important because if she's coming with us, then all the money that's going into renovating the place she's in now and all of that can be abandoned, and all the new upkeep that we would spend there can be spent on the keep instead. But I don't know what is.
We should still have a presence in the city, I think.
Yeah, but the presence in the city doesn't need to be a massive, like, well-guarded
warehouse. Yeah,
because we've got a ton.
Yeah, but it's already bought and renovated. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe there's money to be saved, but I feel like the plans are in motion.
Well, sure,
but I mean,
it's
cost
also
us a ton
like,
of money, Koibu?
What is a McGarry keep with no McGarrys?
Yeah.
Like, that's just going to be like there's a big building that they own, but the mom doesn't operate out of there. None of the servants or any important people are there. And then the three brothers occasionally stop by and then leave immediately to go to the...
You know, that's a good point. We haven't talked about it. Do we have any, like, cousins? Like, Tyrael was learned to be a thief from his uncle. Does that uncle have children?
That uncle does not have children. There are some cousins, like a few generations back, like your great-grandfather's great-grandchildren somewhere else. You guys don't really interact with them. They are...
Okay. So we are the only
They've
McGarrys,
lost their
basically.
lands and titles at that point. Yeah.
Well, careful, in case one of us dies.
Yeah,
true.
I need to find a cousin. We also it also is kind of weird because depending on where you go for who could potential cousins be, these people might also have like fucking lineage or some shit too, right? So it's kind of weird.
Right, like technically Lady Tolwick is a distant cousin of yours.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Nothing. That's totally
Only
normal.
that all the other
totally
major
fine,
Wick-related families are all, distant cousins of the one family, which is totally normal. I mean, the Queen of England is so interbred, it's ridiculous.
Oh, listen. First it was Diana, now it's this. Too far.
So the current plan is to get all of our. The current plan is to get all of our followers to live in a city outside of our castle, but still get land grants and work for us. That's like the good idea, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So let's talk about the number of people you want to keep in the keep. You are entitled 3 leaders that are at least 5th level. You are entitled 60 expert archers that are 1st level fighters with stud leather, longbows, and bow specialization. You're entitled, 80 times 3 is 240 mixed infantry as well. So
Probably want to keep the leaders and the archers.
Well, I mean, should we aim for about a third?
Yeah, about a third or a fourth.
Like 60 infantry, 20 archers, 20 swordsmen, and then the leaders.
Yeah, so let's just cut those numbers by like a fifth.
Like a third, right?
I was gonna even go lower because I don't know. I just don't think we're gonna need that many like in the keep all the time.
Well, hold on.
So like,
wait. Let's. Yeah. Are you talking about in the keep or all together?
In the keep.
Oh, in the keep. How big do we need to build the castle to maintain whatever standing army we want to
So
keep?
if we cut it in a fifth, we would have 15 archers in the keep 24/7. How many?
But then the rest of them would be living outside the keep, right?
30.
That's right. Yes, the rest of them would be living outside. The keep.
Here's a question, okay? In the event of like an invasion or an attack, does this keep need to be big enough to hold everybody? Because I imagine that you generally don't defend your outlying like villages. Everybody retreats to the keep and then fights from in there. But if our keep literally can only hold like 40 fucking people, and we've got like 400 soldiers trying to cram themselves in, does that become a problem or?
So we've got 2 things that we're dealing with here. One is the housing that you would comfortably hold people, and one could be emergency housing. If you just need like physical space to hold people, you can cram people in real close. If you guys are under siege for a month, you can stack people, your personal bedroom, you could put like 10 people in your personal bedroom in your real world house. So in dire circumstances, you can always increase the number of people, then it becomes like a food source issue. If you have a large courtyard, it can turn into like a tent town or whatever. Yada yada.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So then, 1/4 or whatever, probably, or 1/3.
Yeah.
A very low presence in it.
Yeah.
So let's do a fourth then.
Okay, yeah, we'll compromise that quarter. Because when I think back to other shows, when you visit towns, like the Lord will generally have like 10 soldiers, right?
Depends on are you talking like proper towns or villages?
I'm talking like Misty Rapid, Shirebrook, places like that.
Yeah, the Lord will probably have 3 or 4 knights, each with 8 to 10 people underneath them during times of peace. So, 40 or 50 folks.
Sounds about perfect then.
Well, I think we should have a little bit more than that because we're kind of like, we're on the edge of enemy territory, right? And we are actively involved in war at the moment, so.
Right, you're not in the middle of like a safe kingdom. You would be positioning yourself near the dangerous mountains, away from reinforcements, with no road getting to you. So security is going to be more of an issue.
So let's do a third. Is that chill, Nick?
Yeah, I think a third sounds good. So, and it's easy, right? Because then we can just go off like 1 level 9 fighters, a portion of followers, plus the 2 extra leaders. I'd say we all keep our 1 leader on the payroll.
Yeah. So whatever we're entitled to, a third, and then we're keeping all of the leaders on the payroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And the idea is that 1/3 of this will be full-time soldiers, standing army, and then the other third you will.
The other 2/3.
Yeah, 2/3.
Sorry, 2/3 you'll grant lands to, and you'll give them a stipend or some sort of money to keep them in your employ, or they would just be like regular farmers who can work here, and you can call them up whenever they need
I think we would give them a small stipend.
To maintain their weapons and armor, right?
To maintain their stuff. So, like, let's say they get paid, for example, 10 gold a year as a stipend. Instead of paying them the full 10 gold, we would just give them like 2 gold just to stay in our employ. Right. Something like that. Yeah.
And then that's sort of like the reserves, right? Every other weekend you go train, you do your weapons, you march around a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, to keep them good.
We could even Would it be a bad idea to like rotate the third that were on active duty, like maybe like every year or something like that?
It's probably a bad idea because then you could get into like the issue of like, are these people loyal? Like, what if these people, new people coming in?
Yeah, because then you live in a house and then you got to go somewhere else and someone else lives in your house and fucks up your farm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let me just make some notes over here. Okay. Great. So we are keeping in keep are going to be 20 archers, 20
20 guys with split mail and 60 guys with light armor and spears or whatever it was.
Morning Star, 60 pike with leather. Yeah.
And these guys are all level 0, are they?
The archers are level 1, bow experts. The Morningstar / pike people are 0th level.
And our fighters are we rolling for that?
I haven't rolled yet. I haven't decided what the top level fighters are going to be like.
It's dangerous to let us roll because that table's got some crazy stuff on it, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it fun, Nick.
Yeah, It's not some mad stuff like a guy at level 9 dude who rides a Pegasus or something crazy.
That's absolutely
level 7
base.
Fighter with plate mail +1, shield +1, broadsword 2, heavy warhorse with warhorse.
Hell yes. Let's fucking roll it.
No. These things don't exist around. Otherwise, I would have let you know that there was a person with, horseshoes of speed that you could go steal.
Yeah.
So the magic items would be limited to +1.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any shields or armor +1 available for us.
Well, we can deck them out with armor and shit weapons and stuff, so that's okay.
Yeah. I'll let you roll on the table for their level, but their gear I will pick myself.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then you'll just deck them out with better gear anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're gonna have expert craftsmen. I'm under the impression that there's probably only 5 people in the world who can do dragon armor. Is that true or no? That'd be my guess, but I have no.
Yeah, so in Arcadia, there's going to be very few people who are of quality to do it. Yeah. You've got one here in Drekis, in the capital, that has been working on your armor with some assistance. There are people who can be trained to do such a thing. There's just so little dragon armor that gets made that
they don't need to learn it.
Yeah, no one's ever learned that skill. The guy that you have who's doing it right now is doing it for the very first time because he's never had an opportunity to make this before.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more opportunity these days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we'll move him in, and then we just need a blacksmith as well.
Right. Okay. So total soldiers in here is going to be 100 infantry, 3 leaders. Great. Now I will extrapolate your servant count. So let's see. You're going to need, for the PCs, there'll be 8 there. Officer. Oh, what about your existing people who you've already hired to work with you? You've already got
we'll just roll them in, no?
Well, wait, are you talking about the people that... This depends on if our mom is moving or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is our decision on that?
I mean, what do you think? I think all the McGarry should probably be in the keep.
I think it's nice to everybody in one area. However, this area is more exposed. And also, if our mom wants to play nice in politics with other people in the capital, she's either going to be traveling often, or she's going to be not able to do that.
She can maintain our interests in the capital. She's going to want to be close to her sister. She's like our mouth to the queen's ear.
The issue is that if we leave her in the capital, we're not going to have any McGarrys in the keep because us 3 need to go and do shit.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't want to leave the keep to nobody.
I mean,
So we need to leave someone in the keep who we trust.
yeah, but we're gonna have our captain guys, right? They're gonna be trustworthy, no?
Yeah, it's just weird to have a keep that no McGarry's are.
Yeah, with no McGarry.
It's not.
So
fucking
maybe
Lord of the
it
Rings.
is
There
like
doesn't
time to
always
look
need
for
to be a.
marriages.
Yeah, see, if we
Okay,
had
that makes
wives,
sense.
we just throw the wives in there.
That's true. Well, now we're settling down.
I understand that our captains will probably be trustworthy, but man, getting just like a castle just like left to you, and then all the other people like start talking to one another. I don't know. It seems like
But we should have like a guy like a chancellor, right? Like somebody who's our right hand man who deals with our day-to-day business running. Maybe we didn't need one before when our mother was doing it, but now if we're going to leave her in town, we need like someone we can trust who can be our chancellor, like collect all our taxes, make sure that stuff that gets damaged in the local area gets fixed.
That's a perfect job for our mom, right?
Yeah.
No, but I think I think you're right. She's better off in the city where she can politic.
I never said she was better there. I was just saying.
I think she is.
I think our mom's better at home. It's someone we know, we trust, loyalty to a fault, will not betray us at all. And I think we institute a chancellor or someone inside the capital.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way.
And I think the brothers need to look. I think, Anton will be saying this. I think we also need to start looking strategically for wives.
Can we have a conversation? We don't have to RP it or not, but like, if we would ask our mom, what would she say?
About where she would like.
We go to mom. We say like, Mom, we're gonna build a keep out here. Where do you think you'd be best positioned?
Do you tell her why we're building it in the Riverlands?
Well, they're our lands, so she knows that, right? Makes sense.
I'm just curious if if Tyrell would say anything about the port cities, like it being like a free port and stuff.
I think I would hint at it without saying it directly.
Okay.
So, in that circumstance, you're going to need someone to run the keep. She agrees with you. You need a McGarry in the McGarry Castle. She has been sort of running household stuff and doing politicking in the capital a little bit, but you're not too far from it. She can commute, a month out in the countryside, then like a 2-day boat ride to the capital, or like a day boat and then 2 days by wagon or whatever. Like, it's a reasonable commuter distance. It's what all the other lords and ladies do.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't have a keep or a fortress in the capital has to commute to the capital to do the politicking. She's not just friends, she's sisters with the queen, so that makes it a little bit easier. And that sounds like a really good plan.
So she's going to be in the keep?
Yeah.
She's on board to manage the keep and the keep's estates and the lands and all that jazz, and then commute to the capital as things come up, which she will have to do from time to time.
That's fine.
What should we?
She says you guys will need a boat.
Okay.
So, Mom, what should we do about the warehouse in the Wickthron Rarenta? Anton stutters.
Sell your other house?
No.
Yes.
I don't think we did sell that house.
It was in the process of being like sold because you said that everything was cleared out from there. So why would we keep it?
Right.
Yeah?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably been sold by now. Then.
Where's the money?
Probably folded into the upkeep of the new place.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably, huh?
Yeah. Well, we kind of hand waved a lot of the money stuff of your family buying and selling estates earlier.
That's all good. So they'd probably downsize then for whatever they have right now in Wickthron Rarenta?
Yeah. So the estate in the capital, you could either leave intact as sort of like a fallback point. If you lose your keep for whatever reason and you still need to house yourself and your soldiers in your army, that could work as a temporary shelter, or that could be sold at a smaller in-town, cozy little house that just fits like, 3 bedrooms and some servants' rooms.
How much is the upkeep, just broadly, of keeping the warehouse with like a butler and like one person in it just to make sure nobody like comes in,
Just to sort of like keep it up to date and not really doing too much is not super expensive. We're talking maybe a couple hundred gold a year.
Okay.
And then, whatever land taxes are incurred, which will probably be on the order of like a couple thousand gold a year.
So there's probably no reason to like downsize then, because no matter what, we're still going to be paying that. It might be a little like 10 gold, 20 gold less, but
in the short term, she thinks that you guys are making so much money and there's so much to be gained. It's probably better just to keep the stuff in the city. The keep will take a long time to make anyway. It's going to take months, maybe a year to make. So keep the shit in the city. Once the keep is built and everyone's moved in, then give yourself a year and figure out if you still need the
If
house
you don't
in
need
town.
it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
No need to make big moves hastily.
All right. Cool. We all agree then?
Yep. Okay.
What do we just agree
We
to?
do need to select.
That we're just holding on to it and not for a little
We're
bit.
holding
Yeah,
on
but-
to it for at least a
Downgrade.
year.
Yeah, okay. Sure, for now, that's fine. It gives us a place to... Nick has a place in there safely to teleport to, right? Or did we say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Although we'll get something like that in the castle as well, obviously.
You had all the people that you're entitled to from your level 9 with your keep. You also have 30 foot soldiers that you've acquired and trained right now and that are already with you guys. And with them is your mom's bodyguard and then your 2 good warriors, right? The old guy and the young guy.
Yeah.
So
Are they all level 1
them
as well? Are they better than the other standing men?
The 30
It's made-
foot soldiers.
Yeah.
but 15 of them were fresh recruits and 15 of them were already warriors who knew what they were doing. So
I
by
say-
now they're all probably about the same. They're all probably like level 0 with fighters. Like actually,
If they're just level 0s, then... oh, you level 0 fighters, so better. I mean, I think...
like they're proficient in weapons.
But is that the same as the pikemen? And the
Right, they'll
guys
be
with
on
Morning
par
Stars?
with the pikemen and morning stars. Yes.
I
So
guess
the
we
reason
just
we don't want to
roll
get
them
rid of
in.
these people is because these people are actually loyal to us. They do
But I think
pay
we
still.
we make them 30 of the 100, right?
30 of the
Sure,
100.
That's fine
Okay.
with me, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I will just add 30 to here.
What happened with like the goblin slaying mission? You don't have to answer right now. You can just think about it before the break. That I sent Bardico and my cleric and like all the warriors on. I think we had them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
I will just need to roll a couple of dice to see how that went. Haven't done so yet.
Take your time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So we've got these for the archer or for the farmland. This for your keep. I'm going to calculate servant costs right now using some big ballparks. Let's see. 1 per leader. You gonna bring your cleric with you to live in the keep as well?
Yeah. She's gonna be big one day,
cleric.
Koibu.
Mm-hmm. We need. You're keeping 100, so that's 10 servants there. Let's see. You want a barrack, a stable with 8 horses?
I think we should probably only need what? Let's do 8. We'll have 3 horses for the brothers, 3 extra, and then 2 for like a carriage. That's fine.
Right.
Or if somebody needs
right.
to like send a
Here's the
message like,
brothers.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So stables, that's going to need 2 grooms.
We should get a wizard as well, right?
Yeah, it'd be nice
I don't know if that's possible.
No, it must be.
to hire one. Yeah, for sure.
You're going to need an apprentice, you mean?
Well, I guess an apprentice, I suppose. But
Right?
I mean, having a wizard in the keep at all times is probably pretty useful.
Okay.
We also need a temple inside the castle grounds. A nice chapel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm seeing 100 soldiers, 3 leaders, plus your 3 leaders right now, the one that's your mom's guard and the other 2.
Yeah.
So 100 soldiers and 6 leaders, actually, 6 officers.
Yeah.
1 cleric.
Sorry,
And
why
this
is it
will bump this
6? It should be
Because you're
5.
entitled to the 3 that you get here. Then you've got the old guy and the young guy that work for
Yeah.
you, and then your mom has a personal bodyguard.
Oh, she
that's
has one
always
as
with her.
well. Okay.
Yeah, we rarely talk about this person. You gave them a magic sword a while ago. They just follow her around and keep her safe, and
Nice.
haven't really come into play yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it sounds good.
so I'm calculating 27 servants, 100 soldiers, and 6 officers.
And a cleric and a wizard.
A cleric, a wizard is gonna need another servant.
Give him 2.
2 servants for the wizard. Okay.
Yeah, sure. What about, have you included in the servants like blacksmith and leatherworker and stuff like that?
Those
No,
are
no.
skilled
So then-
craftsmen.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are the craftsmen. Blacksmith. and leather worker. So under my initial proposal, I had folded them into like living inside the keep. But if you've got a little village nearby, then those people can live in the village, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need to worry about them so much for keep design.
Fuck, I would say you probably want them in the keep just for the fact of these are highly skilled people, and if our fucking leatherworker dies who makes our dragon armor, it's gonna be really fucking annoying to replace him. I don't know if you guys feel the same about it.
Wait,
but
for like big keeps, don't you normally have like these people have like apprentices, or there's more than one? Like, does a huge keep like this really only have a single blacksmith or a single leatherworker without an apprentice at all? Or
in this situation, the blacksmith would be the head of the operation, and then they would have apprentices or journeymen or whatever working underneath them. So you would say like, "Here's my blacksmith," and the blacksmith has like a small team.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can live outside the city. It's fine.
Yeah.
Too much.
Make them live outside the city.
Outside the castle. Sorry.
Castle.
Yeah.
Okay. So our castle needs.
I don't know if this comes later, but we're also going to need ballistae. Probably quite a few of them.
Oh,
on
and
the
we
walls.
will need a couple extra servants in case you all get hitched.
When we get hitched.
When?
Right. So I'll add another 2, 4, 6 more servants to the roster. At least to plan the castle.
Sure.
So it looks like 35 servants, 100 soldiers, 6 officers, a wizard, a cleric, your mother, the 3 of you, possibly 3 extra wives. Cool. 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 6 plus 1 plus 100 plus 1. So we're looking for room for 150 people.
What was it before?
Before it was 463.
Okay, so we cut our costs probably like in a fourth or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Excellent. So let's talk about buildings. If you will open up that PDF.
Yep.
To I don't know about PDF page, but like actual book page number 54. It will give us the modules that we need to work with here.
Okay.
So let's break this down into sorts of housing. You've got housing for fancy people like yourselves. You're gonna want some guest rooms, maybe. You're gonna want some officers' quarters, servants' quarters, and then barracks for the soldiers. So we've basically got like 5 different types of bedrooms going on. And rather than worry about exactly all their dimensions, we'll just kind of break them down into these big categories. So I assume each of your fancy, proper McGarry people's rooms would probably be 20 by 20, and that would then be divided with like a curtain wall here or some sort of inner structure here, so you can have like a closet or whatever.
Are you talking about the officers or all the men?
No, I'm talking about the McGarrys.
Our like us.
No.
Yeah.
Our rooms, yeah.
3 of you plus your mother, are about
20 by 20? That seems a bit small, doesn't it?
You can make it as big as you want. I just wanted to get some big ballpark numbers here.
I don't know. Does that seem all right to you guys? 20 by 20? I mean, that seems kind of small for a prince.
Print? Oh, I like the way you talk for a prince.
Yeah.
20 by 20 is fine. We don't need like grandiose bedrooms, right? This is a functional keep. Like,
yeah.
Okay. I get them to change the plans to make mine 25 by 25.
All right. So officers, we're gonna have your 6 leaders, right? The 3 for your soldiers, then the other 2 that you've got, and your mom's person. Another officer is gonna be the wizard, and another officer is gonna be a cleric. So that is gonna be 7 officers. How big of bedrooms do you want to give this officer class?
15 by 15?
15 by 15?
Yeah, sure.
The wizard might need extra space, right? Like a second room.
I mean, if we categorize it as this, then maybe the officers get 12 by 12, and the wizard ends up getting like 17 by 17 or something. But as a ballpark, 15 by 15 works. Guest rooms. How many guest rooms are you going to want, and how big do you want them to be? Someday, someone's going to come and visit you, right?
We want
some noble.
Definitely.
I don't know. We want enough to host a party. So if we
we want enough to host like
there,
a medium-sized party. I
yeah.
think, yeah.
So what do you think that would be?
10? 10 families?
10 guest rooms?
Yeah.
Maybe even more. 10 seems, I guess that's fine.
I don't know. 10 guest rooms, fuck it.
Okay. 10 guest rooms, and these don't need to be big and fancy. Do you want to do 10 by 10, 12 by 12?
Let's just do 9 by
12.
9.
Whoa. My friends deserve better than that. I say 12. I say 12.
He says 12. Alright, it's fine.
You see, Anton and Tyrion never went to parties, right? Imric's the one who went to all the parties. I know. Guest rooms in like Cronwick Keep. Do you remember? They were bigger than 10 by 10.
Bro, the three of us all went to a party, remember? We stole all that
Yeah.
shit.
We got shoved in the same room.
Wait, did we?
I think
I'm
we
pretty
did,
sure,
right?
yeah.
Wasn't it three
Yeah,
of us in
I think
one
we
room?
did. Yeah.
That's
I'm like
fucked
almost
up.
certain it was, yeah.
No wonder we stole from them. That kind of insult? Wow.
True. Okay, we'll do 10 rooms, all 10 by 10.
Okay, 10 by 10.
Your servants. So generally, your servants can be packed like
1 by
4 to
1.
a room, 2 to 4 to a room, and then you've got like 1 lead servant for the men and 1 lead servant for the women, and they each get like their own room. So maybe the lead servants, each servants, you'll have 2 of them, and they get maybe 8 by 8 rooms.
Yeah.
And then bulk servants, you have 33 of, and you can fit maybe 2 of them to a room, and that room can be also 8 by 8. So let's just round it to 34 and divide that by 2, which gives us what, 17? 8 by 8? That seems right.
I don't know how I feel about the lead servant getting 8 by 8 rooms, but it's fine. You know,
Do you want to bring it? You want to change it? You can do
No,
whatever you want.
I think that's good. I mean, they're
I wanted them to
important
have
people,
6 by
right?
6. You know, if they're sharing 2 to a room and an 8 by 8, they got 4 by 4. Are they really 2 times the importance?
I mean, it's like your butler, right?
Yeah, he's in charge of all of them. Yeah, he's
All right,
important.
fine.
Yeah.
8 by 8. We'll keep them happy.
Don't want those guys turning on us. Yeah.
Fuck them.
And I'm mostly pulling these forms and figures from like what period pieces I've seen, like Downton Abbey and shit, where it looked
Are
like
you-
the servants were 2 to a room, and it was maybe about 8 by 8.
Yeah.
If you guys want to adjust these numbers up or down,
It's fine.
Of course, can be done. All
8
right.
foot by 8
Then-
foot. It's not a large room, is it?
8 by 8 is like if you had a queen bed in it, that's like the entire room almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll
but
be
these people
fine.
don't have queen beds, and there's no electricity, so
Yeah,
people don't
sure.
hang out in their bedrooms. It's literally
people are
just a place to
losers.
sleep.
True.
Yeah. And then your soldiers, your barracks. Now, your regular soldiers, you can cram in pretty high. You can get bunk beds with 2 to 3 people on a bunk, and then
And
you
keep them on
cram
their
with
toes.
just a little bit of space in between. So you.
Well, if they're going to be living there all year round, though, is that reasonable to have them in like bunks?
Yes.
Is that what
Bunk
would
beds
happen
aren't
in the
that
actual
bad.
army? Yeah.
Bunk beds are not bad.
Yeah, but with like no space of their own, no.
Well, they'll have like a common places that they can go fucking hang out in. You know, they
Okay.
don't not slaves.
Yeah,
They
okay,
can
that's fine.
You know. Yeah, bunk beds, Koibu. 3.
Okay. So we're gonna say about you want to triple stack them?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means we can put 3 people in a maybe like a
Fucking sardines in here.
by 10, I think. 6 by 10. That gives you like a bunk, and then a little bit of space, and then foot at the end of the bunk for like a major hallway, and a little bit of leftover space to kind of put maybe a group table and a fireplace or something.
It's nice. I like that.
Yeah, so 6 by
Sounds
10,
cozy.
per 3, and you have 100 soldiers. So X 33 of these. We'll just round it to 35 just for math reasons. 6 by 10 for 35. Excellent. And then we've already got the office. Okay, cool. Other things that your place is going to need. You're going to need a kitchen for your fancy folks. The big kitchen. And you're going to need a kitchen for the nobles and whatnot. And then you need a kitchen to serve the servants and the soldiers.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm. You're going to need a temple, you said?
Mm.
Yeah. Not a temple. I need a nice cathedral, Koibu.
Cathedral. Is that going to be in the main castle building, or is that going to be its own separate building within the curtain wall?
Anton is literally cool with either. What's cheaper?
It's cheaper to integrate it into the one main building.
Yeah, let's do that. If that's cool with the family. I don't know if it makes a weird... Well, I just don't know if it looks weird to like have like... Is it weird to have a temple integrated or anything or no?
Nope, totally not.
Oh,
cool.
Totally normal.
Whilst we're on the topic of this, I'm also going to need like a library and a laboratory.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Of significant,
right.
wealth.
We'll get to your cathedral size. I'm assuming you're going to want there's going to need to be a main hall for everyone to do their normal everyday prayers, and then no.
Fuck.
Tell me
normal
what you want
everyday prayers. We need Velthara centric, okay? It's not like the Megaries worship Velthara, but Anton, the chosen of Velthara, does need his fucking spot. Velthara only. Fuck the other gods. They're all cringe.
Oh, really?
Got it.
I think we should at least have some small temple to the other gods, though.
All right, we'll have an insultingly small Koibu part.
Well, even if there's just little shrines to them or something.
Yeah, just super small shrines, but insultingly small. Like people would go in here and be like, "Oh."
Wait a second. Wait. Why?
Yeah, why?
No one's gonna use this anyways, right?
Wait, hold on. All these people are religious as fuck in these times, right? Doesn't everybody worship like different gods and shit?
All right, normal amount for other people, but a big section for Velthara.
I think we can have like an altar of Velthara at the front, but then just along the sides, like statues of the other gods or something that people can leave little offerings to.
Is this going to be the sort of when we talk about integrating into the castle, if it's just your own private area, that's fine. But if this is going to be like the cathedral to Velthara, you might end up getting, pilgrims who come here, or maybe someone who has
No, it's not a cathedral. I think it's a temple inside the keep. If at some point we want to build a cathedral, it will be in the town. There should be like a cathedral.
We'll move the cathedral somewhere else. It'll just be a temple inside the keep, with a bigger section for Velthara because Anton will probably visit that the most.
I was thinking about this the other day, just changing. Did you guys have cathedrals in America? Is that a thing that exists?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lesser, but they do.
Some of these cathedrals we got over here, fucking insane. Some of them. When you think that this was built 1,000 years ago or something.
Yeah, it's wild.
How the fuck did they do that?
I mean, when you have slaves and you rule the fuck out of towns and you're like the ruling power, you can do a lot of crazy shit, right?
Yeah, but it's how many people died just to build this fucking building, Anyway, sorry.
I'm not talking to Qatar.
Yeah, true.
So your temple in the castle. How big of a temple are we wanting? Are we talking 100 feet by 100 feet?
No, just whatever a normal castle would have. It's not going to be anything grandiose.
Okay.
I'll make a Velthara temple somewhere else.
All right, so we're probably talking 20 feet wide by maybe 60 feet long, and that includes some room to add some other a little side building here, a warehouse or a storeroom to hold these things and yada yada. So
yeah, that's fine.
What did I say? 20 by 40? That sounds about right.
Yeah, you said 20 by 60, but yeah, it's fine.
20 by 60. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. And then the fancy kitchen doesn't need to be super big. That's maybe 15 by 15. The other one needs to be maybe a little bit bigger, and that'll include some storeroom space, yada yada. Nick, you need a library and a laboratory, right?
Yes. And, since we're talking about hundreds of thousands of gold, what do you need to research level 6 spells?
Oh.
Laboratory-wise. Or library-wise, I mean.
equipment. Do the library.
Oh, can I also make potions and scrolls in your laboratory?
I think so. I don't know though. Probably.
Your temple was where you can do your stuff.
Sick.
Yeah. So you need a 15,000 GP library in order to make 6th-level spells. Your library need be...
If it's a ridiculous number, obviously I might change my demands here. I could always go and just do research with Somba if I had to.
Mm-hmm. A wizard who doesn't want to borrow or lease a room from a landlord and buy a suitable building. The place should have at least 400 square feet of floor space, or somewhat more than that if the wizard intends to live there, as well as maintain a laboratory.
But 20 by 20.
Yeah, a 2-story building of about 20 by 20 would do nicely. Okay, so they're talking... Oh, that's for if you're living there. Got it. Got it. So you need about 400 square feet for a library. Your laboratory comes in 3... Oh, yeah, perfect. No, the research laboratory is the library. That's 400 square feet. An alchemical laboratory is 400 square feet, and a forge laboratory is 600 square feet. So we're looking at 1,400 square feet if you want to theoretically, build, have this be your laboratory for the rest of your career.
I mean, it should be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always change it, or you can always move elsewhere, but if you want to plan for the future...
What's a forge laboratory? Is that some make magic items?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems a bit ambitious. But I feel like if Imrik was a real person, he would want to do it, because I know that we're not going to be still playing this when I'm level 14, but in reality, he'd probably want it.
Larger
we will be.
Laboratories include all the materials and equipment required for the production of magical items of all types, not just potions or scrolls. So potions or scrolls can be done alchemically. If you want things that have single-use things, you want to do wands or rods or any of that stuff, anything that has anything other than potions or scrolls, you need the forge.
Let's do it. I'm all in. I want 3 stories. 20 by 20, 20 by 20, 20 by 20.
Okay.
One store's a library, one's the alchemy, one's the forge, and then out from the, above the 3rd floor is the wizard tower, right, where we can teleport into.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to do 40 by 40 for the wizard laboratory. Perfect.
40 by 40? No, that's too much, right?
It's actually, it's a little bit too much. It's 37.5 by 37.5. I'll just round up to 38 by 38. All I need is the total square footage, and it's just the note keeping is working this way. Any other major buildings that you guys might need? Any other?
I got one.
Significant? Yeah, what do you got?
I want to build a listening room where I can train my hear abilities up to 99 Koibu, past 95. It's going to be the quietest room. No, okay. So we had a discussion about this before. I don't know how far or how deep we need to go to see how far I can push this, but something that I would like to be able to do this keep, the reason why we're building it on the water, is to have the concept of like a free port here, basically.
Mm-hmm.
An offer that I would like to make is to find out where... I think so I would know this in character, or at least I would have heard of this, but I think we directly saw this when we did the VOA campaign, is that there is some place where the actual head family members live or base out of. I think that's a static location, right?
Family, you mean Thieves Guild family?
Yes, yeah.
Right, that, how do I say? That information is not something that Tyrael would know. There are probably a lot of theories, but they keep that shit close to the chest. As you've seen, high-level PCs can fuck anything up, so they do not let anyone know what their true secrets like that are.
Okay, gotcha. Because I would like to make an offer to them that letting them know that this city will have a free port, letting them know that I intend to run this as some form of, I'll say, sanctuary city for thieves, if they want to do that. and that if there's some room that I could construct in the keep that would be beneficial to that, it'd be like a compromise I'd be willing to make if they're willing to chip in financially for the cost of the keep.
Okay. This doesn't seem like a room in your building, though.
Well, it depends.
Well, it
if
could
they,
be.
Like, let's say, for instance, they wanted, like, some guaranteed safe area where they could have some, like, meetings that were, like, secure. Maybe like a lead-lined room or a silver-lined room or something where they could have a meeting like that. Or some area where, like, if the city was under siege or something was happening, like, at least, like, the important members of that guild. Now, I don't know if they would live here or not. Maybe not, because they could be assassinated here or whatever. But if they wanted to have a retreat to some area like that, I would offer to... I mean, it would be up to them, I guess, if I'm making this offer that, like, if there's some request that you have, I can have, like, a room, like, commissioned inside the keep that would be, like, exclusive to their utilization. Yeah.
Okay. So, some room that the Thieves Guild folks, the family, could use in your keep. They're very interested in that, of course. That seems like something that they would want, one way or the other.
How did they feel about the port city, like being a free port?
I mean, if they can get... Smuggling is an issue. If they can use you to smuggle items by delivering them to your port and then having you walk them into town with your carriage or under your banners, that seems great. That just makes some logistics a lot easier for them.
And we can go. You can go right from here down to Kirschwick and then into Wickbound-Renta. It's a good...
Yeah.
Yep. So are we talking more like a storage room to hold their illicit goods, which doesn't need to be that big? Like 10 by 10 would solve that problem mostly.
If they want,
Or
it's
are
up
we
to
talking-
it's up to them. What do they want? Do they want like a 40 by 40 area where they can plan out of and they can house people, or do they just want a small storage room that's guaranteed to go unlooked over by like federal troops or like somebody of the kingdom? Or we can take a break and you can think about this more specifically or whatever, because we're at our break point.
Yeah, why don't we take a break here? I'll think about that. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be back.
Cool.
Wait. Boom.
Yo. So, the Thieves Guild, the family, they are interested in this offer quite a bit. They would like 2 rooms, 2 10 by 10 rooms underground, with a sort of out-of-the-way entrance that people aren't going to accidentally stumble into and go down there. One room will just be storage for stuff, and the other room is in case they need to put someone up for a night. They need to like smuggle a person, or someone needs a place to lay low. They'll need like a room that has beds, and they'll have separate locks or whatever, so that
I will say, I have one huge condition on this though. Okay.
Of course you do.
Yes. If they want to smuggle stuff, if they want to sneak people around, if they want to do like fucking with like other thieves and stuff, that's okay. But stuff like the murdering of citizens or anything like that will absolutely not be tolerated, and those types of people will not be harbored. So if, for instance, if they are like assassinating nobility or doing anything like that, or like just killing random citizens, they're trying to hide like a murder or somebody related to that, I don't want any hand in that. And if I find out something like that's happened, then like everything will be off the table. But in terms of like smuggling or stuff like that, that's okay. Yeah.
They have a lot of operations. They can just divvy that, run that stuff through another channel somewhere else.
Okay.
Perfect.
And they're going to help with the castle building cost for this? I thought that was his offer.
Right. So you wanted them to what? Shoulder the whole cost of this construction, or a partial cost of this construction?
I want them to chip in, but it's hard for me to know. Because we need some numbers in terms of like the amount of goods I expect them to move through this area. So let's say hypothetically they were moving through 1 billion gold of goods, per year. I'd want them to chip in quite a bit. But if it's like maybe 20,000 gold per year, I need like some scale or idea of what would be appropriate. I imagine that I would probably ask them for an offer first, and then see what they offer, and then I would consider that offer.
Okay,
would
so
you want that?
2 approaches here. One is that they pay for the building depending on how much you think they're going to use, and then the other is you build it and then you collect some sort of like fee
Tax.
for housing them as they move through. That one is going to be a little bit easier because then you can just upfront cost it, and then as they move stuff through, you get a cut. Trying to do a long-term prediction on stuff moved through a castle during a time of war is going to be impossible to give you any realistic number.
Might be better to do the tax thing because then we can cut the ongoing costs, which I think is going to be more of an issue than the upfront costs.
I'm okay with that.
Both. You want a little now and then taxes in perpetuity.
A show of good faith.
But yeah, that would also work.
I don't know if I need to show good faith. This should be a really good offer to them, right?
It is.
Like, I don't know how many other nobles would be willing to, but we can front all the costs and then do like a tax collection. I suppose is okay.
Levy.
Do you want them to?
Yeah.
Do you want to front all the costs yourself, or do you want them to chip in like 25% or something?
Fuck. Hold on, I'm thinking.
For that building in particular.
You're just talking about the cost for this one building, right? Not for the whole castle.
Just for this one building.
No, fuck it. I guess this one building isn't going to be that much, so it's not really worth.
No.
Yeah.
Compared to everything that you're doing, it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the wizard lab. We've got the
What
family
percent
headquarter.
you want of what's coming through? That should probably be negotiated up front versus down the line.
So I think before doing this conversation, Vega should know all sorts of stuff about the logistics of shipping and everything. So I'll ask him. Let's say that I want to ship something from one area to another, and I want to smuggle it for 1,000 gold. How much of that would I expect to lose to like smugglers' fees, to get stuff getting snuck into cities, and then whatever that is, I would want to take like maybe 60% of what that fee would be.
Right. So generally, when you're smuggling with good smugglers, they don't look at what you're smuggling. So it could be worth absolutely nothing, or it could be priceless, and they wouldn't know the difference. And they usually just take a flat fee based on the difficulty of smuggling. So it's usually having to do with size rather than with, value of the thing. You want to smuggle a big ass box like this, it's way more expensive than smuggling like a tiny little rock.
Okay, I won't fight too hard on this. I feel like, and this might be like, I don't know if I'm drawing from TV shows here, but I feel like the reward would have to be proportional to what's being delivered. Otherwise, you run the risk of them checking the goods and being like, wait a second, this is like a legendary person that you're like, this is like Jaime Lannister, or like this is like the Dragonbane sword of whatever, and you're only paying me 50 gold. I'm gonna yoink this, right? That some shit like that happened.
Right.
Is it really never proportional? Or do they just trust that they never check the packages, or?
Well, that's the like general theory, right? In the same way that cops shouldn't assault innocent people. That's the general theory. There's also softness within that. So if you're transporting something that's super valued and super precious that you want someone to not swipe and you want them to take extra good care of it, you might quadruple, triple. You might just add 1,000 gold to that sort of stuff. So
Sure,
yes,
okay.
high value objects will end up with higher level costs out of an abundance of precaution. But the general rate is based on the size of what you're smuggling, and then for like the really good shit, there's money on top of that.
Sure.
If we charge them a fixed amount, right, then the risk of their business is still on them and not on us. Like if they have a bad year, they still owe us the same amount. It's like the same way the mafia would charge like protection rackets. It wouldn't be some percentage of what you earn. So it would be like, you owe me this every week. This is what I'm taking. I don't care if you've had a good week or a bad week. This is what I'm taking.
But we don't know what that price is, right?
Yeah, we don't know what that number would be, but
yeah.
Are you suggesting like you owe us this monthly rent, essentially?
Sort of, yeah.
You can move whatever you want through it, or do you want to do like every time you move something, I want this much from it?
I think a
And then
monthly
more if
rent
it's
is
high
probably
value.
cleaner for everybody involved. It'll smooth out everything, and then we have to ask less questions, which they probably prefer.
Yeah, and then we don't actually know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing on the thief area is that means someone's going to need to be able to come in and out of your keep. You're going to have guards who's going to need to let them in and out with their gear. So someone is going to have to be sort of on the know.
I think I can appoint. I can appoint Vega to do that.
Got it.
Why don't we just give them a letter that they can use to gain access?
Nah, fuck that.
Don't ask any questions.
I'll do. Vega's like he's already my follower. Oh, and here's a quick question I had about Vega. Is he like? Are they going to try to like kill him, or what? How does that work?
Right, so Vega has sort of switched over to your side, but he's done his best not to cut his ties. So he still goes about and visits those other places, still does his sort of other routines, but has been slipping away from it and showing up to the optional stuff less and less. And actively eschewing responsibility, slowly pulling himself out of the limelight.
Okay.
Because it takes effort to stay in the good graces and to be a person of note. And if you stop putting in effort, you just slowly fade.
Okay.
So
but he's not like he disappeared from like a crime family and is hoping they never find out again. He's like, okay.
No. He's just kind of taking it easy and living a life of leisure and slowly falling out of favor.
Okay.
Cool. Speaking of Vega, do you want to house him in the keep?
I think all
Sounds
of my
like we'll need
followers, yeah, I think are gonna be housed up here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So then they'll need a couple extra rooms as well.
Sure.
At least one of them's a halfling. He can get a small room.
What sort of housing do you want to put them in? Private bedrooms, shared rooms?
Can I just make
Can
a
we
big
just make
room?
them their own little?
Yeah, like a big area for them to like plan and like house in and everything. Are they okay with that?
Yeah, you can just give them a separate building within the fortress compound. That's not part of the actual castle itself. And we can just give them a, I don't know, like a 30 by 30 building.
That's fine.
And then that'll just solve all their problems.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Perfect. Should we
Okay,
give them a
do we
servant
want-
as well? Like, because we don't want them coming to dinner, right?
Does that matter?
They can just have food brought to their rooms. I mean, the chef, the kitchen staff can cook for them too.
Yeah, that works. Okay, they'll just have shit brought to them then.
What couldn't?
I don't
be
think it
better?
matters
I think it's
normally,
better for them to
but-
just come because that's gonna be weird if there's like some mystery people that are
Yeah.
always having food
Yeah.
shipped off to them, like
Yeah.
lepers or some shit. Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
like
that's
the
fine.
other
Okay.
soldiers that are hired by us, basically. Like that's all people have to know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Okay, yep,
Okay.
I agree.
Cool. So we'll pull this out of the main building, and we can talk about what we want to build that with later. Okay, so we got the wizard lab, we've got the large temple, kitchens, housing for everyone. What else might you want? You probably need a couple of parlors, like a couple of socializing rooms. You probably need like a grand hall to feast
Yeah, definitely. We need a hall to hold court as well.
Yeah,
And a place to store our
we
awesome
need-
fucking dragon shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
we need like a trophy room where like you come in and you just see like fucking massive dragon heads and shit.
That could be like the grand hall, though, right? Isn't that
That
kind
could
of
be the
a-
grand
the
hall,
grand
yeah,
hall.
yeah.
We need a dungeon for sure.
Do we need like a throne room as well? Like not
No, well,
being kings, but
Oh yeah, well that's why the Great Hall has a throne,
it the Great
like
Hall?
a big chair where you sit and hold
then
court,
you-
right?
You can put the table. You can bring tables in to feed people, and you can pull the tables back.
Yeah.
To just
And let all the peasants can come in.
Okay.
we
so
definitely
grand
need
hall,
dungeons, though.
room, Dungeon. Got it.
No,
Do you
the
want
Grand
to-
Hall is the trophy room. Sorry, Neil. Like, so we'll have the
Oh,
dragon
okay.
heads and stuff on the walls in the Grand Hall. You know,
Got it.
dungeon. I need attached to my wizard area like a tower as well, and I think the tower itself should be lined with lead and silver. So that's where we can hold our secret discussions.
well, not the whole tower, right? Because it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe just the top room in the tower or something.
Yeah, the top room in the tower sounds good. I wouldn't normally care. I just think it's gonna be really expensive to line a whole tower with silver.
Right. Parlors, just like sitting rooms for socializing. I assume you're going to want one for, guests. You'll probably want one private one for yourself and your people. Your servants are probably going to need a room just to like have just a servant's room to do things.
And one for the guards.
One for the guards. Four parlors.
Five.
Seems very reasonable. 5.
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
It's not gonna be that much
And
more.
then these are probably not going to be super large. Maybe average of 15 by 15.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll do 2 for the guards because I think there's just so many fucking guards that they probably need it.
Well, they would have like a mess hall, no? They wouldn't need a parlor.
Right. We need a mess hall. Yes, the guards can have a mess hall. You might want a parlor for the family, a parlor for the servants, a parlor for guests.
Parlor for us.
And
And a parlor for the captains. For us, and then for the captains.
okay, that's fine. Perfect. Your grand hall. This is going to be able to hold feasts, hold audience chambers. You're going to probably want a big room for your grand hall.
Yeah, this is going to be like, I don't know, 40 by 100? Something like that.
Okay.
I mean, what do you guys think? But it's going to be like a long, like wide, but longer than it is wide room.
Let's do like 50 by 150. It should be like big.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Impressive.
massive, by the way.
Yeah.
150
Good.
feet long is huge.
It's fucking
That is
awesome.
huge. No, wait, is that too... Is that not too huge though?
We're gonna have so many trophies, and we have to put big dragons in there, Nick.
Yeah, it's true.
So we need room for expanding.
Right. And this will also cover, like, you're going to have to store things, right? So you're going to need all those tables. They're not going to sit out all the time. So this will include, like, an attached room to store stuff. You always plan for a little bit more for that bullshit. Your soldiers' mess hall doesn't need to be quite as big. Probably, like, 15 by 40. 20 by 40. Dungeon. 10 by 10 cells, 8 by 8 cells, something like that, with a little bit of walking room.
5 by 5 cells. Our
5 by 5.
Our
The
servers
sevens
don't
have
have
less
8
than
by
that.
8. Yeah, let's do like 4 by 4.
We will need some nicer cells for political prisoners, though.
Wait, how 4 by 4?
Not
They're not even
political.
able to like lay down and sleep. They have to have like.
That's right.
They have to
Yeah, it's
curl.
got to be longer than that. But we will need, like, house arrest for, like, say we capture some nobility from Mistrea or something like that.
Okay, so
be
we'll have
keeping
like
them in the
one
dungeon.
big like drunk tank.
How many cells do we
and then-
have? Wait, what? Do they even have jails back then? Don't you normally just get fucked up if you like fuck
No,
around?
they had dungeons.
Oh, they have dungeons, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have like one big drunk tank, and then like I don't know, probably don't need that many. So like 5 by 5 cells. Or I guess we can do 6 by 6 for people to lay down. People were smaller back then.
We get, what was that, the name of that thing they used to put people in? It's like a long cylinder that was... Yeah, some of that shit. It's like just a cylinder where they just put you in until you died and just like throw you down food and water. But you would barely be able to move. You'd just be like that.
Oh, one of those things. Oh, fuck.
What are they called? It's in CK.
no
You can like put them in the chat notes. The oubliette. Yeah, there you go. The oubliette.
Wouldn't we? What,
Okay,
we
so
just
Fucked
the
up.
big-
I was saw
Kill
them.
them.
One big room that you just throw a bunch of people in. Right, it's just one cell holds whatever you need. As
It's
many
not a room,
as
Neal.
you
It's
want
under
up
the
there.
keep, right? It's just like dug out
Right.
under the keep,
Yeah. How big of an area are we talking for that? 15 by 15, and then you can just shove them in there until you don't need it anymore? Larger?
Sure.
Smaller? How many
20 by
soldiers do you
20.
think?
Fuck it.
20 by
20
20?
by
Okay.
20.
And then you can put like pillars, and you can attach chains to it, so you can
Yeah.
chain them to the walls if you want. Yeah,
Amazing.
you can.
Yeah.
You can do the stuff you want, like Ned Stark under the Red Keep, where he's just like in darkness, strapped to a wall for a while. And then
We're
you
not
said
gonna need that many
5?
cells.
Nick had said 5 cells, but how many
Yeah.
cells do you? Yeah.
Let's do like
Okay,
5 cells and I don't know.
I honestly don't think 5. Oh, 5. So the cells are just for like important prisoners. 5 doesn't seem enough. Like I think maybe like 10. Because what if we like capture a whole group of like enemy soldiers?
Sure, 10.
10. Okay. And how big? These don't need to be large. How much space do you want to put?
3 by 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so
3 by
not
6.
a lot of space.
No, 3 by 6.
Fuck these people, Neal.
They can lay down.
Essentially, it's just a bed.
And eat some rats and shit. Yeah.
Got it.
Also, probably mostly going to be halflings fucking up, so these are big cells for them.
It's fine. Totally fine. All right. Parlor, mess hall, grand hall, big dungeon tank, dungeon cells. Anything else that we need?
At the wizard tower.
Wizard tower, right. So your lab, I think, is part of your tower, right? On one floor, you've got the alchemical lab. On one floor, you've got the foundry lab. On one floor, you've got library. On another floor, you've got something
Well,
else.
I
Maybe
I
dedicated
was
space.
okay. Because I was imagining this is like much bigger rooms, and the tower itself would be like smaller, but like a few rooms
Okay.
higher joined to it.
Sure. Okay, so those things are somewhere else, maybe at the base of all this, and the wizard tower rises above it.
Yeah, from the top room. Yeah, and it's like
Well,
I don't know, like a
tower
6 foot radius floors, something like that.
That's a tiny tower.
Is it? Okay.
6 foot radius? Oh, radius. Okay, sorry. I'm just a dummy.
It's okay now.
Okay, there is a tower module here. Small round towers. Tower. Round. Small towers of this type are 30-foot diameter interior space available for use,
Okay.
and 50 in diameter outside. That is kind of big.
That is big, considering I've got the other 3 rooms below it.
Yeah, you got this whole fucking place.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be that big. I just want something that's big enough for me to teleport into, you know?
Right.
Basically, and then like the top floor probably has an observatory in it. One of the floors to be lined with silver and lead.
Okay.
Can we also get like a secret? This is, I guess, a question for later. Can we get like a secret room behind like stone or something?
Oh shit! Yeah, we definitely need
I think we need like a secret.
Wait, why?
I don't know. It'd just be
So
nice to have like a.
Like in the Great Hall, right? You go to like one of the dragons and one of its specific teeth. Yeah. If you like pull it to the left, it opens a room.
Why do we need a secret room in our own place? Shouldn't we just have a room built for us?
Shouldn't it be nice to have like a? I guess it wouldn't be secret from our people. It'd just be secret from like other people. Like imagine, I guess one day it gets invaded and her mom is like stuck inside the fucking thing and has to hide. That would be where she goes.
We need a treasury as well.
Yeah, we do need a treasury.
Oh, okay, treasury's got to be pretty small, right?
Small but secure. Probably near the dungeon.
I don't know
dungeon,
about small,
underground.
because we're also gonna have magic items in there. No.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
but it's no one's.
So this is gonna be lined fully with lead and silver.
Right, and this would be the sort of room that you would want to be able to like put your magic items on display. You're not trying to shove them in as small space as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe 20 by 20.
Yeah.
Sure.
This gives you room to put stuff on display. Excellent. Anything else you guys can think of that you might want?
We've not talked about the port yet.
Right. Let's just talk about the main castle for now, and we can do the port a little bit later.
No, I think that's good for now, unless you guys can think of anything.
Let me
Equipment rooms, hallways. I mean, I think hallway space gets sort of included in some of these areas. I might just add some extra space to accommodate hallways and whatnot. Stairwells. So let's add hallways and stairs. Probably going to be, if we consider it like all the hallways to be like 4 feet wide, 5 feet wide. Let's say, I don't know, 200 feet of hallways. That's probably not enough. 500 feet of hallways, 5 feet wide.
We'll need a cellar for food and wine.
Yep, that's going to be kind of big. I'm going to put the cellar and the dungeons on a separate area because they'll be underground, and so their costs will be slightly different. Maybe another 20 by 20 cellar.
I mean,
Sure.
I think that even seems small, right? We're going to have like barrels of wine and ale and loads of food for 100
You're
people.
want to be able to sustain through a siege, so maybe 40 by 40?
Plus, this is like, the Riverlands are fertile, right? There's going to be a lot of food coming in.
That's true. You might want to be able to rent out your cellar as storage space, like warehouse space, because there's a port. Okay. Let's call it 60 by 60.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a huge cellar. Okay, so we've got the castle. I think we've got everything that we need for it. We've got a cellar and some dungeons, and then we also have another building in the castle grounds to accommodate your other operations. And we're gonna need like probably like a shed for garden stuff, which is gonna be like a small wooden building. Which will be hella cheap.
At the risk of going too far, a crypt, catacombs.
Ooh. Probably want to bury your dead here.
Yeah. They're thinking about the future generations of Megaris, right? Mm-hmm. Gonna have to bury Tyrael down here one day.
Jesus.
You're the oldest, mate. You're going first.
We have a wish scroll, okay?
Catacombs can be expanded in the future. So why don't we just leave them off for right now, and then as people start, we'll say maybe part of this dungeon stuff includes a very small catacomb dungeon. And then as people die, you can dig it out and expand it and
throw them in the cellar. Fuck it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That is great. Let's talk about the port. Let's talk about your positioning of your castle relative to the ocean and the river. Looks like you want to build it right here where the Petalwater and Rosewater rivers meet on the outside, or flow out into the shallow sea.
I don't know if that's the most strategic or the best spot. I feel like somewhere up here might be a bit better, but can we talk to the halflings real quick when we're down here at we want to know where are some good places to like live due to the fact of we're going to be putting soldiers down here and we need them to have like fertile good farmland as well.
Right. Let's see.
Also, in terms of like strategy, I don't know in terms of what you're thinking for bad strategic. Like, I don't imagine that like an enemy fleet would ever sail into an area like this because like you could get trapped or cut off and like, so easily.
No way, it'd be so stupid.
Yeah, you could get fucked so hard.
Yeah.
Unless you felt like for some reason you had complete naval dominance of the entirety like to the west and like nothing bad could ever happen.
Of the areas around here, the river exit that has the best, most comfortable, like easiest farmland to live on, you know, is this one over here. The Yaga and Naga rivers have the best. The Petal Water and Rose Waters have the second best, and the Lotus Water has the third best river exit.
The Yaga River has a natural port as well, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However,
a bay, sorry, I mean.
Over here doesn't really defend these lands at all. Right? If someone wants to come up this way, they can basically go through as much of this as they want, and then your castle's at the very, very back, and it's difficult to deploy from, and it doesn't cover. Like, it would block people. It'd be easy to defend against things.
No one's coming that way.
Desert, but no one comes that way.
It's also nice to be over here, I guess, because we're near-ish to the giants, and the giants can actually come down and help. Versus if it's over here, they're like 40 miles away. It's half the distance. I guess this is like probably one of the best spots then, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, did you want to do it at the actual mouth of the river, or did you want to do it up the river? Did you want people to be...
Do we think is best for, I guess, the smugglers? I would probably say at the mouth of the bay.
Mouth of the bay also, if shit does get completely fucked, you can like emergency like get into the boats and, and float away, yeah.
Cool.
Mouth of the bay will give you easy sea escape. Makes trade a hell of a lot easier because you're right there.
Mouth of the bay.
Sounds good, yeah.
Okay. So, if we've got, like, I'm going to scroll down a little bit, sort of the West Voden Plain area. What's a good color? Here we go. So if you've got a river that comes up like this, I assume you're going to build your castle on the south side.
Yeah.
Or do you want to build it on the north side? Do you want the river to be between you and the Voden Plain, or do you do you want the river as a natural obstacle to impede sieges, or do you want it to not be there so you can more easily travel?
Is it more important to defend the river or to use it as defense? I think it's more important to defend the river, right? If we're going to have trade coming up and down this river, we don't want our enemies to be on the other side of the river and be able to like harass our ships where we can't get to them.
So we want to be on the north side then, yeah?
No, the south side, I think. Right? Because if our enemies are coming from the south side, like this, we want our keep like here so that we can come out and fuck them up.
Why would they be coming from the south, though? That would be coming from Kirschwick and Coxburg, right?
Well, because they might come like from around here like this.
Oh, you're talking about from Bridgegate. Oh. Yeah, I guess we're more worried about them coming from land. Yeah, sure. I think it's better.
I don't know if this really matters much, right? Because if they think that they can fuck us up from one side more than the other, they could just cross the river like at an upper point and then fuck it, right? I don't know how much that matters.
Crossing the river for a large
not that easy.
It's kind of a slowish process. It might buy you some time. You know, you can always build a bridge across the river or a series of bridges across the river, and then if you put your keep on the north side, you can try and defend the bridge and then defend this. But then it also makes it hard to deploy. If you're on the north side, then they can block you from deploying across the river.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to both. But
I think south side's probably
if we put it on the south side, we can have a bridge across the river, like from within the castle that is defended that the enemy can't use. We can stop them getting into the Riverlands, but we can still access them.
It's got a port as well and a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
something like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will work. Let's talk about the port. You're going to be next to a town. So do you want your castle to abut the ocean itself and have like an actual dock that leads into the castle, which requires, a few extra walls and some extra structures? or do you want the dock to be like, in
the village.
town, and you come out of which would be way.
I think it makes more sense for the dock to be in the town. I think
it does.
Okay. And then if you're against the river and you've got a bridge leading in and out, you can maybe pull a river boat up here, and if you need a sneaky escape or like a skiff or something, and row away in small numbers.
That sounds good.
Perfect. Okay.
Well, we should have some sort of secret tunnel that goes from the dungeons to like some point on the coast where we can escape on a small boat without anyone knowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if we have that, then it's an entrance in.
Yeah, sure, but
and if
illusionary walls, stuff like that.
If we need to escape, we're just gonna fly out or teleport out, right?
Yeah. Well, in an ideal situation, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we should have that, but
okay.
So I think I have enough information now. Let me just tally up the total area and start breaking it down into buildings. Please talk amongst yourself.
Wow.
No.
Weather's been nice.
How
so
nice.
I was thinking, I want to petition you guys. I want to talk you into going after the ogre mage fighter guy.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea, right? I think
Is
he's
that the
likely
guy
to have.
the northwest, or where is he at?
He's in
Siobhan
Eridon. He is.
I
He's
thought
leading.
he was in...
He's leading an army of like monsters and ransacking near High Castle.
Yeah, I think that's true.
He's probably going to have magic items. He's the exact same class as me, a fighter mage. So might be some cool stuff for me there. Also, the Wayfarers might be interested in it because he's specifically targeting their area of like around High Castle where they're from. So they might be interested in coming along. And, he's clearly a threat. High level wizard, fighter, dangerous ogre thing.
I think that we should do it because out of game, we know that if we've already kind of killed one of her generals. I think it's probably just going to weaken her and keep her inside. I also think we should do it because it'll give us a level up eventually. We have to kill all of her generals, but that's one of them on the way. So out of game, I think we should do it. In game, Anton's kind of cool with whatever, I guess.
I also think we should try and rescue the mine. Might help pay for the castle.
The Gold Hill mine is
no,
dragons
not Gold
like
Hill.
A town. Oh no,
the Mithril mine in Mystria, where they have 500 captured Dracissian soldiers.
That was the thing near the Ironbark Grove?
Near
or was it
Sky Peak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think we're ever running that mine while the war is ongoing.
Yeah.
Right.
No, running it. No. But we can rescue our soldiers, stop Mystria using it, and at least steal whatever ore they've mined currently.
How do we stop them using it?
Well, because they're using slaves. They're using our soldiers to run it, so if we free them...
Well, if we free them, they're just going to put new ones in, no?
We'd
Well,
have
maybe,
to, like,
yeah.
blow up the mine or something. To, like,
Yeah.
We could do that too. Not sure how easy it would be to blow it up, I suppose.
I don't know. I think it's kind of unfortunate, but
okay,
those soldiers are probably fucked unless we want to do it for like our family's name. Like, I was going to say, good for the family.
Yeah, appeal to Tyriel's sense of
it would
self-aggrandizing. We should do it for our own. I mean, imagine we'll be heroes, right? We'll have rescued 500 veterans.
I don't know if it works that way in these lands, because once people are captured and they're like kind of fucked, like I don't know if anybody cares about them.
I mean, people would care if you bring them home, right?
Yeah.
Like if those people came home, it'd be a big deal. Like the Megaris went into Mystria, pulled these people out of like an unwinnable situation and freed them and saved them.
Yeah, would it be, Koibu?
I wasn't paying any attention.
If we freed the 500 prisoners from Sky Peak and brought them back, would people be like, wow, that was really cool? Or would they be like, fuck you guys?
Oh, that's what the bards write songs about. Those are the tales that, win the hearts and minds of your own population. There may be no strategic point to it. I mean, there is a little bit of a strategic point, but not really. But that's like a PR move right there.
Okay.
Nice.
Anton would probably be in favor of it. He's heard a lot of stories about people and losing their family. I'm sure he's heard some about their kids going missing, and they're probably in Sky Peak, and people are asking for vengeance that way. So Anton would be in favor of saving them as well.
It would look really good if any of those people released had any nobility ties to it, because there would be some family.
Most of them are, no?
There'll definitely be knights amongst them, probably.
There'll be
Amongst them, there'd be some maybe 50 or less, right? But
Yeah, still low.
way less. But yeah, still though, those are noble. Yep. I
Plus,
think
like,
that's a good plan.
we kill Justina, we kill the fighter ogre, we maybe inform the elves that other guys in Yatel, and we free all these prisoners from the mine. Like, that's a triple, quadruple blow to Scoria in short space of time.
you mentioned killing the dude in Yatel or whatever.
Well, I don't know if we kill him, or maybe we just warn the elves. Like, this guy's gonna be there. He's in Yatel now, he's going there. Maybe you guys just go and fuck him up. Maybe the elves wouldn't do it. I don't know, but
I don't know if they do it.
it's so close to their territory that
I can't see a reason for them not to do it though.
yeah.
It'd be easy.
Do you think that we could the people in Roxas? Those are they were dwarves,
Orcs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we could ever convince them to build like an underground tunnel from their area to our keep for like assistance or trade, or is that like way too far? It would be like a really.
I think that's too far. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was talking about building a tunnel.
Well, they are
through...
dwarves, I suppose.
I was talking about building a tunnel through the this mountain, and Koibu was like, "That's an immense, crazy job."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So building it all the way up would be a lot, but it could happen.
Going all the way through the mountains is a project that would take many, 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 many years. We're talking probably your grandchildren or your children could make use of that shit, but
Okay, don't care. Fuck them.
Fuck them, yeah.
Yeah, fuck them. Probably easier to build a fucking sky bridge.
One thing we could do, do you remember in Roxas, they've got that tower that's meant to keep the dragon away? Mm-hmm. Arxombar can cast this spell, Legend Lore, that you cast it and touch an object and it tells you like loads of information about it. I wonder if we could get a scroll of Legend Lore and then touch the magical anti-dragon tower and find out how it works. Maybe make one for our tower. Our keep,
Do we care though?
Well, if we've got an
If
anti-dragon keep.
a dragon flies over, we kill it.
If we're there, yeah.
If we're there. If we're there. I don't know. Fuck, I put my...
Imric, you wanted your tower to have a, do you say 6-foot radius inside?
Yeah, I think so. If it's because I don't need it to be a library, I don't need it to be any like actual use. It's just literally a place to teleport and some place to keep like my most prestige books and things like that. So maybe like 4 floors, one of which is an observatory and lined in silver and lead, and then the other 3 can just be for teleporting, basically.
It's going to be a little bit taller, but a little bit thinner, smaller than the small round tower. But I'm just going to use the small round tower because we bring it in, but then we bring it up. We bring it in by quite a bit, and we only bring it up a little bit, but the height is the harder.
I want it to be, visually, it needs to be higher than the rest of the keep, you know?
Absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, okay, good.
Okay. One small round tower. So for the building, the main building, without the cellars or the thief stuff or the garden shed or the walls or the moats, we need 2 grand buildings, 1 great building, and 1 small round tower. For those of you following along with the book at home.
Okay.
All right.
Which is just you.
Copium.
I think.
Which is just me.
Surely they're looking at the notes.
Someone's going to watch this with the book while they go through the VODs. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Your dungeons.
So what? Just to talk, I guess. What is the plan after the castle building episode? Are we for the characters?
Well, I think
are the McGarrett?
that's what we were
Black
talking
Dragon,
about, right? Well, wait. I thought you guys were talking about going to free the 500 people at.
Yeah, and kill the fighter mage. I think.
Do you think
I
that's
think
like
we
the first thing?
I think it's
just-
good to do it now because we've just killed Justina, and I think it's like a 1-2-3 like combo against Scoria. She's going to be reeling.
Well, I think she
This
already
is a-
kind of wrote Justina off because she's like, "Fuck
Yeah.
you." We can do. I don't care. I don't have a strong preference, but it feels like we're never going to do the dragon. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
If those ion stones were important or not. If you think they were, then I feel like we should just
They
get
are-
that
they
out
are
of the way.
They're the most
Yeah.
important thing that we need. We need
Yeah.
those, so we have
Yeah.
to. I think we have to do that next.
I feel like we want to
Okay.
do that before we get into like some final like battle
Yeah.
stages where.
Okay. We get the stuff out of Solemn, then it's like we're only focused on Mystria and Scoria directly now. We'll do all this other shit, prepare for the final battle. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to
Okay.
get the ion stones.
large buildings have 1,800. 4180 divided by 1,800. So we need 2 large.
Book is crazy, man.
Your cellar and your dungeon tank and your dungeon cells. These can all be on one floor, right? We don't need to stack these. We don't need.
No, yeah, one floor is fine.
They're all underground, one floor.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do slightly cheaper buildings for that. So we're gonna need.
Anywhere we can get a saw of mighty cutting or a spade of colossal excavation. Surely there's some of them lying around in the kingdom now.
Somewhere. So we can do.
It's alright, we have giants. They'll handle it.
Yeah.
We're gonna haste those motherfuckers too.
Yeah. You're gonna lose some
DH
years
you.
of your life. Oh yeah. DH them. Awesome. That would be funny. There's some fucking
I guess
stone
one
giants
thing
running
before
around
you
at max
finish
speed.
up, are the Eridonian people, do they, I don't know if we make the offer. I guess I'll ask the brothers, like, these aren't our followers now, right? Do we want to, I guess they could always stay in our housing. Our
Wait,
guest
they're not
houses
our
if they need
followers,
to.
are they?
I think it's better to keep them separate from us somehow. I think it's nice to have like an elite squad that we can call on that aren't related to us.
Wait,
you know?
what is our relationship with them? Are they like actually officially followers now, or
The
the
which
Wayfarers?
ones? Oh yes, we can include them in your henchmen now.
Oh.
They've gone through hell with you. They've seen a bunch of shit. You guys have loaned them magic items. They've loaned you magic items. You have a long working relationship. You've provided them with a secret badass wizard base in a mountain. They are now your followers and henchmen.
Missed.
But I don't think we need them in
really
the keep,
big.
is what I'm saying.
Whoa, hold on, wait.
Although Lord Khan,
we have-
There's no reason not
could
to.
be the wizard, right?
Wait. Do we have all of them then? All the people we talked to that were part of the Wayfarers are now under our.
All 4 of them.
Okay, can they make those?
There was.
Can they make those summoning circles? Can we have one of those like in our place to like do the long distance traveling or?
The circles of slow teleportation.
Yeah, they had circles of
Right.
If
slow
there are
teleportation.
followers, then we get that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a magic item that they possess, or a series of magic items that they possess that move from one to the other.
But it's slow, right? Normal teleport's faster.
You want to put one in your base so that they have easy access to your base, and that you have easy access to those other ones.
Well, can they tell us how it works? Because if an enemy gets it, I don't want people just being able to teleport into our base.
Also, are
Right.
these like all connected? So like if they've got like 10 of these all across the land, if they build one in our base, can we teleport slowly to any one of these circles? Or is it just
So they can't build them. They have a fixed number of these items that they have carry around and leave in places. So it's a mobile item. They have 1, 2, 3. I think they have 4 of them. And right now they've got 1 in Eridon, 1 in Mystria, 1 in Drekis, and I don't think they've told you the location of their 4th one, but they have a 4th.
We ask, where is it?
Was the 4th one not in the tomb in Roxas?
Oh, that was the 3rd one that they've moved to Drekis.
Oh, right, okay.
They had 2 in Eridon actually. If you bug them about it, there's a second teleportation in southern Eridon that they've got.
How long does it take to travel from one area to another? I know it's called slow teleport.
Walking speed.
Walking speed, but as if you were to travel 24 hours a day. So,
How many people can fit in one?
you can move. They are about 10 feet wide. So as many people as you can fit in like a 10-foot hula hoop.
Do they like disappear as soon as they start traveling, or do you need somebody to activate the item? But my next question is gonna be basically, can I like move an army through these things?
Yeah, can we use it to rescue the soldiers?
Once someone starts using a ring, that ring cannot be used until people exit on the other side. So you can't move an army just by like repeated using one after another. You could like move and then it sort of hovers off the ground while that tunnel is being used. And then once they're exited on the other side, then it drops back to the ground and it can be reused again. So as many people as you can fit in a 10-foot diameter. Which
On
is
that
not a ton.
point, Neal, you know the cleric spell dimensional folding, is that still in the game or is that not? I don't see any NPCs using it.
I think I have it.
Oh, do you? It's the one that makes like a portal, basically.
Yeah.
Between 2 points.
Mental foldings around.
Do you have that, Anton?
I don't. I have some other dimension. Oh wait, hold on. I'm on the wrong spell list.
Because we could get a scroll of dimensional folding. That's how we free
I
the
don't have
prisoners.
Nope.
We can just make a portal and everyone can walk through it. Back to our keep. Or back to Wicktron Renter or whatever.
What level is it?
Level 5, I think, or level 4.
Oh yeah, we can't get a scroll then. Probably, I would guess.
Okay, thief building, 30 by 30 is 900.
Fourth
So
level
lower
priest
that to
spell.
be 1 medium and 1 small. Plus digging. And this is plus digging. Plus digging. Okay, 1 small. Secret dungeon escape. Did you guys want a secret path out of your dungeon that like takes you a mile somewhere else? You can tack this on later if you'd like, because it's a tunnel, essentially.
Sounds like Anton doesn't want to do it.
I don't think we should do it because I think our PCs can just get out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need 2 stone grand buildings. 1 great building, 2 stone large buildings, 1 stone medium building. This is medium. Excellent. So great tower. 2 large, 1 medium. Huzzah. Okay, so I've got some measurements for basically the entire castle here. The thief building, the building where Vega and the rogues are going to be, and with the underground area that's going to not be part of the main castle, but sit within the castle wall. You can make it out of wood, and it'll be cheap as shit, or you can make it out of stone, and it'll be strong as shit. Which do you want?
Wait, say that again?
Probably
Stone or wood for the thief building?
What is the rest of our castle made out of?
Stone. I'm
Stone.
assuming. If you want to make it out of wood, you can cut costs incredibly, but then your castle is...
We're not making it out. Yeah, it's out of stone. It should be out of
Just
stone.
make it out
If
of
it's in-
stone.
If it's in the main walled area, it should be
What
stone.
does
class
it matter?
citizens.
Like, how? Like,
well.
if they break,
If Scoria,
uh-huh.
if Scoria came over and cast fire on it, you lose all your followers who are inside instantly.
I thought, did we say her fire can cut through stone or no?
Not easily. If she sits and breathes fire on stone for a long time, it will begin to melt. But she hits a wooden building and everything is gone instantly. She hits a stone building, the people inside are protected at least for a while.
Okay, yeah, fine, stone, fuck it.
Okay. So that's going to be another 2 stone mediums and 1 stone small building.
Oh yeah, true. I am excited to roll for the level of my officers and get the highest roll.
Okay.
That's big.
Cool. So, I've got us all of the buildings for us. Your main keep is 22,625 square feet. Your underground cellar, dungeons, and all that stuff is about... Well, these numbers are a little off. Shit. No, it's 22,800 plus this small tower. 22,800 plus small tower. Your cellar is going to be, and your dungeons and all of that stuff together, plus passageways and to make it functional, is going to be 4,400 square feet. And now let's talk about your wall around all of this. The design of your keep allows it to be 3 to 4 stories tall, depending on how you want to do it. We can either put like the 4th building on top of the others, or we can like have the 3-story tall section with like a smaller 1-story section in front of it. Those decisions we can kind of leave a little bit to later, but what is important is to figure out the size of the wall that you want to wrap around your keep. How much total area do you want to hold within it? For reference, if we stack everything on top of each other, your keep will have a footprint of 80 by 80.
What looks the
if we
coolest?
Just stack things. I think taller keeps where you stack everything on top of each other and have a big ass wall around is probably the coolest.
It's cool.
I can do that. Let's do that.
Okay. So the footprint is going to be 80 by 80 stack buildings. And then your thief stuff on the side is going to have a essentially like a 20 by 40 building. And then the cellars and stuff are under there, and they don't really matter. And the sheds we can put anywhere. So your largest dimension is 80 by 80 for the big castle. And then your one side building is a 20 by 40. So when we talk about a keep, you're going to want some space between your main building and the walls. And then you're probably going to want like a big outside area to train people, drill people, hold stuff that comes through, maybe hold like a parade or a ceremony or a jousting match or a festival or something like that. So how much space do you want? Assuming that you have, I'm going to draw on the map. Right. We're going to go south. We're going to go near the Talons, south of Eridon.
Okay.
If we've got like, your 80 by 80 building right here.
Hold on 1 second.
You could put your castle wall like this. And so you kind of just have like even space around it with your parade ground out front, which is a really easy, straightforward method of dealing with things. Or we could, adjust the sizes. So your castle's like in the middle of more or less a big open area, equidistant from all the sides.
I liked what you did first, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sold on it either way.
Yeah, there's a lot of methods. And we're assuming that there's going to be a river nearby too, right?
Yeah, and then I think we have a moat as well, or do we not have that?
We haven't factored in moats, but you could easily extend a moat around this castle wall if you wanted.
Do we want a moat?
Yeah, for sure. We need a moat.
Sure, why not?
Okay. And do you want the castle to run along the river for a great distance? Or do we want it to be more like this, where it like has a shorter wall against the river and runs away from the river?
You probably want it to run along the river, so the river acts as like a barrier, and it'd be also nice for smuggling if they need to get in or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So castle runs along the river, and then you put the keep on one side.
Yeah.
More or less centered, so it's got like equal space all the way around it, so there's no one weaker point. Do you want your castle on the ocean side, or do you want it on the land side? Like if the ocean's on the bottom of this map.
I don't have an opinion.
Well, the port is going to be in the town, which means the keep has to be a little bit away from the sea, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you don't want the castle to be all the way up against the ocean, then?
I think so. Well, I don't think it can be, right? If we want the port to be in the town.
Well, I mean, the town could just be next to the castle, right? The town could be over this way.
Yeah, I suppose. I just feel like if we're next to the sea, then we can be like sieged from the water by like cannons on. There's no cannons on ships, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're next to the sea, it's also pretty.
Yeah.
I think we can be right next to the sea. I don't think boats
Yeah.
are going to come through that like narrow strait to sea.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think we just be on
Let's
the
do the
sea.
sea.
Okay. So we'll do it something like this: river on one side, sea on the other. Your castle, your keep fits right up against it.
Yeah.
Your castle itself is 80 by 80. So how much space do you want between the castle and the walls?
Are we doing one wall here? Or have we got like an inner wall around the keep and then a larger wall around that? We're just doing the one wall.
I think probably just the one wall. If somebody's going to breach one wall, they can probably breach two, right? Like,
Yeah, one wall's fine.
You probably increase your security by like 20% by tripling your costs
Yeah.
if you do multiple walls. So you could do like a 20 feet is a nice big gap. 40 feet is a nice big gap. Anything less than that, and you start to get into some really sketch zones. Like if it's only 10 feet across, then someone could jump from the wall to the castle.
No. I think at least 40 feet.
Yep, 40
At
feet
least
sounds
40?
good.
Yeah.
Okay. So 40 and 40 is 80, so we want 160 feet on the width of the castle wall. And then we also have like a 20 by 40 building somewhere. I don't think it's important to necessarily name its exact location, but there is this outlying building where the rogues will have their stuff. And we can change the orientation in any way that we want, whatever. But you're also going to want some sort of open area, some sort of like parade ground where you can do
train troops, right?
Mm-hmm. So how wide do we want this to be between the front of your castle and the gate, which I assume is right over here? Although it could be here. You know, you could come in to the parade ground, whatever you want. How much space should this be?
200 feet?
200 feet? That's a big space to train people.
Yeah, but there's going to be multiple buildings out there, you know?
We
The
also
road
have all of our army out there in the city, so we're going to be bringing them in like reserves. So I think that's fine.
whatever like the appropriate space would be. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the appropriate space is. Whatever you think.
Okay. Well, the issue is that there's not like an appropriate space. It could be any number of things, but this is a good place to start. And then if we see the costs are too crazy high, we can start cutting some things back here. So 200 feet plus 80 plus 40 is going to be 320 total. So your wall is 160 by 320 around everything.
Somebody does make a good point in chat, Neal. How's the Great Hall 150 feet long if the building's 80 by 80?
It's a very good point. We talked about it being 150 feet, didn't we?
So I think maybe we have the ground floor being bigger, and then the next 2, 3, 4 floors are smaller. Or something like that. Does that make it less secure then? Because somebody could get on the roof?
No, because it's more in the middle. It's harder to get there, no? Oh, but I know what you're saying, I think.
I'm saying that, like, if...
Yeah.
I'm not... The only thing I would be concerned about are other player characters, right?
Yeah.
If it was, like, something like this, ignoring that other building there.
Right.
And this was just 1 floor. And then this bit was 3 floors. But then somebody could, like, jump onto this bit and do
yeah, but
something
again,
crazy.
like, this is, like, player character stuff. Like, if NPCs are, like, rating in this way, like, I think they would have access, theoretically, to it. Like, we're doing all of this effort, but what if they just had a potion of spider climb? Or they were, like, a rogue that could climb, like, very proficiently. They would just climb the side anyway, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily worth, like, worrying that much about designing around that, you know?
Okay, so we're looking at a building that is maybe not 80 by 80, or maybe it's like 80 by 80, but then it has a bit that sticks out.
That would be cool. Yeah. And it's like a big bit of an entrance hallway that leads into the Great Hall, and then off the Great Hall is the rest of the keep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so you would enter in from here or here, and then like the Great Hall would be this huge section on the main floor.
Yeah.
And you might even have like side entrances that are whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Badass, yeah.
And we can reposition these things as we desire. If you want to like shove this off to one side or the other, to give yourself more training ground, then we can do that. But most importantly, 320 by 160. 320 times 2 plus 160 times 2 is 960 feet of walls.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Segments. And you're gonna want one entrance, one main, like, well-defended, large entrance that wagons and everything can come through. If you want to have like little secret exits, I forget what they're called. They are
Sally ports.
yeah,
I think that's
postern
actually the word,
gates,
yeah.
Sally ports. Yeah.
Do we not need as well? Like, are we including like turrets on
That's
the
what we're
corners
getting
of
to.
the walls
So,
here? Okay. Yeah.
One big gate. That is not the right button. One big gate.
This is so cool. I can't wait for our castle to be ready.
And then we will need turrets on the walls. Now, turret spacing, you can think of in terms of either number of people that you want to be able to fire. The more turrets, the more archers you can fit. Or you can think of it in terms of range that can be covered. If this is 320 feet from side to side, it's about 110 yards, which is medium range for a longbow.
Mm-hmm.
We just need ballistae on top of the walls as well. Now, let's not forget that. It's going to be like super important.
Yep, we can absolutely add ballistae to the cost.
And sorry, while we're on it, can we have the entrance being on this bit instead?
Absolutely, whichever.
Just
side
because
you want.
when people walk in, I want them to look at the grand entrance. I don't want them to
True.
have to like come around the corner to see it.
Gotcha. I don't know why I can't find my weapon table. You will have expert longbowmen with broadhead weapons. Medium range is 100 yards, so 320 feet long does put them at. If one corner were to be attacked, then this like last 20 feet would be out of range. But that's only if they're exactly on the tower. If they're attacking any bit down the wall, so we can do 4 towers then.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Because that would put everyone within medium range. All the towers within medium range of each other.
Don't forget, Neal. We do need an entrance like here with the bridge.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna want 2 gate houses. Probably, yeah. Okay. So
this main entrance will be from people coming from Drekis, and this little entrance will be for the halflings coming from the Riverlands.
Yeah.
And what about moats? Do you want a moat also going all the way around the keep?
Yeah, just these 2 sides, I think, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll end up splitting the river essentially and putting an extra channel that walks around everything.
Yeah.
That makes it easy, yeah.
Yep. Totally.
No, it's going to be so cool. I mean, clearly want to get some like giant, massive crocodile monsters in the river as well, right?
Just throw Rust monsters down there.
The ultimate OP.
This also
True.
Get some aquatic dwarves in the moat.
This also means a drawbridge. Let's see. 1 drawbridge, 1 normal bridge. Okay. We've got drawbridges. Gatehouse. Lesser, greater, and grand. Let's talk about gatehouses real quick. Lesser gatekeep consists of wait, is there another thing that could replace it? Oh, Barbican. Barbicans are just shittier gatehouses. So lesser gatekeep is this, 20 feet out from the castle's main gate, 59 walls, 4 towers, and so gatehouses get a little bit complicated. It gets really nitty-gritty on defensiveness. Essentially, the more money you pour in, the more complicated defenses you can have, but also the more people you would take to man them, because if you got like 2 towers, that's one thing, but if you got 6 towers, all of a sudden you need 3 times as many people to man it. I think you guys can get away with a lesser gatekeep without too much problem, and it's much cheaper. It's like less than half the price of a medium gatehouse, and like a fifth of the price of a grand gatehouse.
I don't think we're going to be facing like invasion from an army. I think it's more likely to be highly trained people, or a dragon.
Okay.
I don't think we need death. What do they call them? Where you throw oil down the holes and shit like that. Murder holes, yeah.
So we'll do 2 small gatekeeps, 1 drawbridge, 1 normal bridge. And round or square towers on your corners?
Round.
Okay.
Right? They look cooler.
Yeah, I think they look cooler.
Yeah.
They're also slightly more defensible.
Too late to change all this now, but I mean, just asking, how important?
Do we really need a castle?
No. Well, how important are the Riverlands to Drekis? Now that we have food coming through here.
How can you gauge that?
Well, this is how I would gauge it. If Scoria were to move an army to attack us, are we getting an army from Drekis to help, or is the queen going to be like, "Oh, you built that there. Good luck, LOL."
Reinforcement would be a likely thing, depending on the scale of the attack, right? If you're surrounded by 100,000 soldiers and 10 dragons, then maybe it's not worth it, regardless of the value of that keep. The McGarry's living there is a pretty important thing, right? The queen is a close ally of yours, and she wants to empower you. She wouldn't want you guys to be pissed at her when the war is over. There's a certain level of healthy respect the queen needs to have for you guys.
Okay, just making sure that like any other city or nobility keep within the realm of Drekis, that if we get attacked, we're not oh, you decided to build out there, you're all on your own. I just making sure. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
right. A good question.
This is a higher risk area that you're building in, but you are some of the most important people in the kingdom at this point.
I mean, by the Riverlands paying taxes to Drekis, surely the queen owes them protection, no?
Certainly, absolutely, they are subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Alrighty. Next part. So, if you will all open up your Castle Builder's Guides to page 48 and follow along with me, we are going to talk about the construction site and all that fun stuff. First to talk about is climate. Right. Factor.
Surely we're looking at more moderate here, right?
I think this is a fairly moderate area. See, mild winters, long growing seasons, otherwise comfortable to dwell in. Nearly any type of human society can be found there. See, temperate areas, short but adequate growing seasons. I think this area is moderate. It's a fairly lovely area, the Riverlands. Geography.
Is this rolling hills?
Yeah, let's see.
This book, if you look in the temperate, it says examples of temperate zones on Earth include New England, portions of Northern Europe, and much of southern Canada and the Soviet Union.
Jesus.
Really dates them. Yeah.
Rolling foothills or foothill? or low. So you're down by the river, so you're not low mountains. Foothills.
It's foothills, right? That's what it is.
Unlike the low rolling hills found in many parts of the typical AD&D world, these regions are noted for their rough terrain and broken nature. They're rugged and dangerous, often considered to be mountains by those who live or on among them, such as Greece, Turkey, and Italy fall into the foothills area. Rolling hills are a very common type of geography. They're very appealing to most human cultures. They offer advantages of rougher terrain without the hazards and difficulties associated with mountains. Much of the United States and Europe is dominated by rolling hills. I feel like this area is... The rest of the Riverlands are definitely foothills, but down by the river itself, you're probably closer to rolling hills. And it's like, well,
nice.
The construction site stuff also has to do with not just where the castle is being built, but having to like haul goods over here because you have to bring wood, you have to bring stone, you have to bring laborers.
But we're gonna be hauling across the plains.
It's true. Well, some of your wood or some of your stone, most of your stone, is probably going to come
to the foothills
up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'll have to come through some foothills. And even if you come mostly across the plain, you're still going to have to cross some foothills here.
Go for a difference. Yeah.
1.25.
Yeah, we'll split the difference.
Amazing.
2.5. Next up is ground cover.
And can we roleplay the workforce stuff?
Absolutely.
Because I think we got some good shit for there.
Yeah, so it's not jungle, dense forest, or light forest, or even scrub. It's not desert, swamp, or barren. It's grassland? Hold on, scrub. This type of vegetation grows where the soil is not very fertile, or conditions are otherwise too harsh for larger plants to take hold. That's not us. Light forest. Can be difficult to work in, but most construction teams are able to plummet. Flora and fauna are far less dangerous. So the Riverlands do have light forest throughout most of them. There are trees everywhere. It is very fertile territory. Lots of stuff grows here. It's definitely not grasslands. Probably have somewhere between light forest and scrub, actually, because again, we're coming up and down and across these hills, so we'll split the difference again and call it scrub forest. So
the first line of scrub says the type of vegetation grows in areas where the soil is not very fertile or conditions are otherwise too harsh for larger plants. This is the exact opposite of that, isn't it?
Right, but this section over here might be scrub, because again, it's not just about where the castle is, it's about the supply routes to the castle. So this section is probably kind of scrubby. The actual fertile ground that you're going to be building the site on is going to be woody. So I think halfway between the two.
Okay.
And people are...
halfway between the two, so we could go for a...
1.25, yeah.
Seems fair.
Okay. Resource availability. It's not distant and poor. It's not distant and good. It's probably going to be near and good, with the exception that you're going to have to build a quarry up in these mountains. And I think the building... Well, quarry even hard to make from scratch? The wood you'll have to import from down here. You can get some of it locally, but you're probably gonna have to bring in the right wood from over here.
What wood do we need again? Just for like...
Well, you need wood for like
inside.
to build the stones up to like make the trellises. No, what are they called? The walkways that you use to like stack things up. It also has to do with like craftsmen and tools, and most of your tools aren't going to be built on site. They're going to have to be imported. So why don't we say it's going to be... There's not a really strong definition of what distant is. Castles being built in the Arctic, then stone and food must be imported from far away. Let's see, distant and poor. This category is used for whenever the resources, stone, food, tools, and so forth, are far from the construction site and of inferior quality.
just think somewhere between near and good and distant and good, so 1.25.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can split the distance again.
Some of it's near, some of it's far. It's all good.
It's all good, but the distance is going to be a little bit awkward sometimes. And your workforce. They are not nomadic. They're not semi-nomadic. They are regular.
Well, should we roleplay this as well?
Their societal type is definitely agricultural, but the worker skill and morale is definitely what we should be role-playing.
Okay, so Tyrael had talked about we were going to trade either dragon armor or magic items to get like there is a family probably who has like the best, most skilled like builders and stuff is kind of what we were going for. So we were going to not trade, but we were going to give them, items as like a, hey, like we're your friends, da-da-da-da. And then we were going to ask them like, hey, can you also come make our keep for us? I think that was the plan.
Yeah.
And we're also going to enroll the giants, and they should be extremely high morale.
Got it. Why don't we take our second break here? I've got some things to say about this.
We'll be back.
Hello, everyone. So let's talk about worker, skill, and morale, right? Those are the two things coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys have this connection with this gentleman through which a proposed marriage has also sort of been set. This guy named Richard. And your mom flirted for a little while. She wanted to marry one of you to his daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was the guy who had the warehouse that the woman, was pissed about, yada, yada. He is one of the better merchants of the area. He has all the right connections. And when you're talking about building and keep, your mom reaches out to him and talks with him. And he comes to talk to you guys about this. He comes in person to your house one time when you're discussing these grand plans about where to build your castle. And you're all gathered around a map discussing these things. And he brings with him some bad news. Well, good news. Good news for him, bad news for you. It seems that his son-in-law, who was thought to be lost and dead in the southern Isle of Caledonia, has actually somehow, against all odds, survived. By the will of Madrigal, goddess of hope, he has managed to make it through incredible hells.
We would know this guy, right? We've all heard about him, probably.
Not quite, because he's been down on this island, operating alone, quiet, out of the way. You've heard of the expedition to Caledonia that's brought back wealth, but the people who are on it haven't really been heard of. In fact, Richard's been he's been the waypoint between all of that operation and the kingdom. So it's been like his operation that he runs with his son as the lead explorer, or son-in-law as the lead explorer. And he was thought to be lost and dead, and then he turns up much later alive. However, his survival through these trying times came at a cost. He is aged, and he is disfigured from this endeavor. His legs have been turned to stone, and there is no one in town who is high enough level to stone to flesh him. And there are no more scrolls of stone to flesh left after all the wars that have gone on. We don't really talk about the actual day-to-day front lines, the actual battles happening, but there have been petrifications, there have been Gorgons deployed, there are soldiers who went to Eridon who ran into demons that turned people to stone. And by the time poor Kel William returns to Drekis, there is no one left to heal his legs.
How old is he?
He was in his 30s when he left, but now he looks like an old man.
Well, Belthara grants me the powers to DH him. I could handle that. Emmerich, do you still have that scroll kicking around, maybe? Obviously, we'd be trading.
Well,
the scroll is flesh to stone, not stone to flesh, unfortunately.
Cast it wrong.
My son-in-law is an amazing man. So you wouldn't be wrong to say that I owe a great amount of my good fortune and my position in society to this wondrous hero who, by all accounts, has fought demons, battled dragons. He might even be a grander dragon slayer than the three of you. By their accounts, he and his men have slain 3 dragons thus far, and fought another one on a plane foreign to this.
We've slain 5.
Well,
actually 6, including the black dragon that we got, what, a week back, brothers?
Yeah, we lose track of them, you know? We're just knocking them out left and right.
I suppose that is only an average of 2 each, though.
I am not trying to compare, great
not.
apples to great oranges or anything like that. But Kel William, my son-in-law, wonderful, wonderful man. Unfortunately, he is, again, off on another mission proposed by the Queen. I think you are all in the Queen's great confidence, and it would not be improper for me to share with you the details. He's gone to Eridon to deal with the man known as Count Vicious, the one who leads an army of the undead out of, I believe it is the town known as Fortune. You see, the lands of Eridon, the Golden Sea, are promised to he and his men who went south. And he's off to deal with that. And also in hopes to find a scroll to fix his legs, while the Queen sends messengers far and wide in an attempt to find someone with the scrolls or the magic to repair his long-lost legs. Once again, my beloved, trusted son-in-law, who I would do anything for, finds himself on death's doorstep. Our former arrangement will have to come to an end, assuming that my son-in-law survives, of course. I would feel uncomfortable telling you to be put on the wait list for my daughter's hand, but essentially that's what we're having to do here. If you were to be the fiancé of my daughter, I would be able to funnel a great amount of workers of great skill and great eagerness towards the endeavor of your castle. However, off into distant lands my son-in-law has gone, far, far away from Drekis, where no one can keep an eye on him. And hopefully he comes back alive.
He's a good guy, Nick.
He's a good guy, yeah.
What is the name of the merchant guy again?
Richard.
Well, Richard, what are you going to do to make this right?
True.
Engagements happen all the time, and they fall apart all the time. That's why we have a period of engagement. It's like escrow for a house. These things don't always pull through, unfortunately.
I mean, this engagement didn't really fall apart, though. In a way, you've kind of scorned my younger brother here.
The cleric of vengeance.
My son-in-law coming through out the other side against all odds alive?
Well, it sounds
Richard,
as though,
I must say,
I'm
devastated.
And it sounds as though you promised your daughter's hand in marriage, and that wasn't yours to promise.
I'm her father.
And she wasn't a, what would you call it, a bachelorette?
A widow.
She wasn't...
She was not a widow. Well, we all thought she was. We all knew she was. Caldonia vanished. There was no place left to be, and he was with it.
How many other men
for 9 months until
How many other men did you promise her hand in marriage when we went on our dragon slaying adventures?
There's no one other than the McGarrys and my beloved son-in-law, Kel William, who I love and hold dear to my heart, that I would like to see with my daughter. Any of the McGarry brothers would make a fine husband for her. Some might say even a greater husband than Kel William, who is now aged and deformed and certainly not of the same noble stock and closeness to the Queen. But he is a great, mighty warrior, perhaps even a mightier warrior than the three of you. You should see him with his flaming sword.
Anton's going to give Tyrell a little bit of a wink and
armor, his great wealth of magic items that he carries with him to fight the monsters of the undead. Oh, the treasures he's obtained overseas.
Well, I think we're probably good here. I guess we appreciate you coming to tell us. If you and your daughter and son-in-law would like to visit in the future, we'll be sure to build a wheelchair ramp for them to enter the castle. But otherwise,
He can walk. He's got amazing strength, stronger than any man I've ever met. But it might be because of the magic belt he has.
goodbye.
No, he's just like.
Yeah, we see him out.
Goodbye, Richard.
Okay.
Anton will remark after he leaves, wow, that man really loves his son.
He's fucking cold. I can't believe that.
What, he only had good things to say about him, Imric?
Imagine going through all of that and then trying to hire us three to go and kill a guy. Poor bastard.
No way he was doing that. He couldn't stop talking him up.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Well, Anton, it seems
Hold
like
on,
we're
wait.
gonna find you a new wife.
Real quick. That's really fucked up. We just got really fucked.
We did. Absolutely.
You guys didn't invest anything in this.
It doesn't matter. He offered something that wasn't his to give. He totally scorned us. That might have been like, sure, nothing happened, but like, was he expecting something?
And then he tried us to get us to kill his son, who was a hero.
Wait, when did this? Wait, what does that mean? When were we killing his son?
That's what he was implying.
That's what he was implying.
Ridiculous.
Oh.
That's why he's talking up every single nice... This is out of character. That's why he was talking up every single nice magic item, saying everything that he had and where he's at in the middle of nowhere. He's old, he's like de-aged.
Oh, never mind. I understand.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should not offer to heal this man's legs. Heal his aging, Anton, by your god's graces, and perhaps then Richard here will see it recompense to help us with our building after all.
Well, hold on, just real quick. Did the Queen actually send Kel William on a mission to Fortune?
Sounds
I
like
haven't
it.
heard anything about it.
Well, because if she did, it's a little fucked up for us if we were to try to interfere with that at all, right? For our own personal gain.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be interfering. We would kind of be helping the mission, helping him. But yeah.
I'm sure the man will be back and we can help him then. There's other merchants in the country. We don't need to rely on this Richard. I mean, if he would stab his own son-in-law in the back, can we really trust him? Perhaps we should. Perhaps we should, yes.
Would he believe us? Would you believe us?
This sounds like a whole mess of shit that we don't need to be involved in.
Yeah. I think we agree that this is just kind of not our deal. Family fighting and fuck that.
Now we can go marry the building guild's daughters. The builders.
Yeah, I guess we'll ask you around. What is like the best? Who are the best like builders? Which family has like the best builders?
I mean, legit though, can we not get Anton to marry a dwarf? Is that not a thing we can do?
No, I don't think you can. You said we can't have children with like other races.
I think with dwarves,
Humans and dwarves do not breed, unfortunately.
Damn it.
Wouldn't work.
Koibu's supposed
Maybe by Velthara's guidance.
Is it misogyny? What's it called? Miscegenation? Am I making it? There's a name for people that don't like it when like black people and white people have children. They call it like a thing. What am I thinking of?
I don't know what that is.
Oh fuck. Okay, never mind. But anyway.
Racism?
Miscegenation might be the thing, but anyway. Yeah, so wait, is there like a family that is like renowned for having good builders and constructors and all that?
Let's see. None of the great noble families have such things. There are worker guilds that
I think that's what we want,
skilled.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We want to get
not
the
so
guild
much a noble
involved.
family as it is a guild. They are stationed out of Darcis, way over here.
That's perfect.
Where are they stationed?
They can take a ship.
Oh,
Darcis is where the headquarters of this guild is, and the workers tend to move around to special projects here and there. They cost a pretty penny, but they're highly skilled and they know what the hell they're doing and they enjoy their work.
Are they independent of the government? Could the queen
much as
command
one can
them?
be. Certainly, the queen can come in and call favors and command people. That of course can happen, but sort of like with eminent domain, she still has to pay them. You know, she can't just
might
say,
get a bit of a discount though, right?
Yeah, maybe.
That's not going to get you That's not going to get you a highly motivated workforce if you're making them work for less than they're worth.
Right. You'll be impacting their motivation at that point.
So I think it would be good if the McGarrys went and met with the guild and had a conversation.
ask them what they wanted. If there's anything we could get for them, anything they wanted done.
We can say that we're going to be making a port town. We're going to be building a whole new city, and it's going to be a great hub, so they can also find other jobs there. That could get their costs down a little bit. I'm not saying like a huge thing, but I think
I don't think we have much to offer them in terms of they care about this city, right?
Well, we're going to be erecting a whole new city around us, pretty much. So
yeah, but...
if they can get a job, you know. Do you not think that we should meet them? They're not going to have trouble
finding work. They are renowned workers, right?
Yeah.
Finding labor, finding jobs is not hard for them.
Not hard. Okay.
So what do you have to offer the Great Guild of Darcis?
Mm-hmm.
Is there like, how does it work? Is there one leader? Is there like one union rep that we need to bribe? Or is it like a council? We own this fucking mountain, so quarry rights or something. I don't know.
So
they help us build the quarry and then they own it afterwards.
The Worksman's Guild in Darcis has a few different components to it, right? There's like a lead stonemason. There's a lead carpenter. There's a lead, what do you call it? Like blacksmith, etc. Whatever. Every sort of craftsman has a lead person who then like runs that subsection of the guild or that under guild essentially. And then all the leaders get together and make decisions collectively as a group, with voting on behalf of their people. So you probably would be dealing with a collection of, you need a smith, you need a carpenter, you need a stoneworker, you need there's a small protection detail that just makes sure goods get to where they need to go and everything operates smoothly, sort of a greaser guild. It's not a lot, but they get a say in things. They're the logistical support. Fifth one, what am I missing? Stonemason.
Shipwright?
Ship. No. What do you call it? Like an artisan. Like what's the difference between a stonemason and someone who does like carvings? Because a stonemason can just like cut stone very well, and then you've got the person who does like fancy decorative work. I can't remember the term.
Yeah, I was reading about a guy who did that in the Minster.
I'll ask, I guess, the brothers while you look that up. How do you guys feel about, I don't want to use the word siphoning, but bartering future treasure? I mean, we are going to kill Scoria.
Sculptor. Sorry.
It would probably drive down the price if we offered 1% of Scoria's final hoard. Obviously, we don't know what that is. They won't either, but I can only assume she's lorded over Mystria for thousands of years.
I don't even know if that's our treasure to offer. And I don't know what people think. I don't know what their confidence level is that we'll actually kill, like, Scoria.
I guess 4 people walk in with the most magical gear in the world, or 3 people, might make you, throw a little gamble at it.
Well, ordinarily, yeah, but this wouldn't be a little gamble. This would be them dedicating, like, dozens of workers, or hundreds.
I'm not saying they do it for free. I was just saying it like a discount.
Also, I don't know who gets Scoria's treasure when we win. I don't know who that might be. Like, the rights to that might be the Kingdom of Drekis over us, right?
What else could you offer them? What else?
I mean, there's like the standard, like,
have?
the suit of dragon armor, right?
Sure, but they don't need dragon armor. That doesn't really help anyone. Maybe for the protection and logistical details, maybe one of those people would like it, but by and by, that's just a different form of money for them. So what do you guys have to offer that no other lord here has?
Magic items, obviously.
Magic items, dragon fucking bones.
I mean, we can get anything from any place in the world, probably more so than other people can.
Yeah, more like we offer a service. Like, what is it you want done? What do you want found? We can get it. Maybe it's in Solemn. We're going there anyway.
Koibu stares at us.
They have a few things they want. Let me just make some quick notes.
We also have technically we have, was it 50,000 mithril coins or 5,000?
5,000.
I don't know how much that can be melted down to make or craft things. If they're fine craftsmen, they might be able to work with that, but...
That's true. Mithril might be worth more to them than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or mithril in large enough amounts that they could use it for pieces of art. Excuse me.
Definitely have things that they want. Coming up with a list of them, a little bit harder than I had hoped.
I said it before, I don't know if you just ignored it, but, you know, we got to build a quarry. Because not, what if we just give them rights to the quarry afterwards? We say, you know, help us build the cape, and then the quarry's yours. We won't need the stone anymore after that.
Offer the rights to the land of the quarry and the rights to mine it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about the land, but you'd have mining rights.
Well, it's not going to be loads of land, is it?
It would be enough land to run the quarry and have like people there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not bad, but that does mean having to move stone by ship. Not undoable, but that is a slow, kind of painful process.
I also, if we're going to do that, we probably need to quell the pirates in this Spice Island region to make sure that their ships aren't being harassed as they're transporting the goods.
I mean, that's not a problem, is it?
No.
Just take
Just
time.
something we could do, yeah.
Yeah.
What do craftsmen desire above all else?
Money.
Fame.
Yeah. Money, a little bit of fame, working on cool projects.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be like the coolest project in the world. You're going to get to work.
That's not
for the
nothing, to
dragon.
be fair.
No. You're going to build the McCary Keep, which is going to house massive fucking dragon bones, and you're going to be the people who did it.
Okay, here, wait,
If
hold on.
McCary survived,
If
that's
this,
fucking epic. If you guys die to Scoria, that's kind of sad.
they're gonna have like some type of crest with their guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could offer them the rights to design the Grand Hall, where we're gonna have dragons featured, and they could prominently feature like the crests of their guild in that hall. We already have some dragon things to feature there, I think. I don't know how well survived or preserved like the skulls we've got so far are. We're gonna kill the dragon and sell them. Yeah, but I guess the
You want
idea
a
of
payment
like
exposure.
kind of, yeah. You'd have like a featured like dragon like featured skull or some shit, and then it would be ornately designed by the guildsman or whatever, right?
We'll name a wing after him.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know what they want?
What?
They've got daughters. Daughters don't have husbands. McGarry's.
Fair
They
enough,
get
wives.
one.
We both look at Anton. Tyrael
Anton
needs to.
slowly nods,
Tyrael
yeah.
needs to marry
Tyrael
someone
needs to marry someone
important.
big.
I'm already
You've
in love.
found a girl.
Yeah.
Anton will huddle with his brothers. Is
They
this really
need
what
that
we?
political connection because they're merchants, right? They're workers, but they have no nobility amongst their ranks. And as good as workers they are, you know, maybe like the lower nobles might marry into them a little bit. Other merchants, they want that close connection to the top. They want that, you know, someone on the inner circle who can hang out in court and hear things and place information as needed.
It's absolutely perfect.
If they want to do a marriage like that, that's fine, but the work is going to be done like at an incredibly discounted or free rate.
Incredibly.
Yeah.
I mean,
this
for
is
them,
big.
this is just to get you guys to work on this. They have a lot of projects, right? They don't have... They can take or not take any given project because they've got plenty of...
Oh, so this is
plenty
just to
of
like get their
available.
foot in the door? To bring them to the
otherwise
table?
there's like a waiting list to get them. Otherwise,
Okay,
you have to wait
okay.
a couple of years
But
to
Neal,
bring them.
in terms of how you're calculating the cost, if quality and cost kind of balance each other out, so we could pay these guys to do it, but they're going to cost more, but it's better work. So in terms of the worker skill multiplier.
I would say we would just do regular costs if you're
regular. Yeah, okay, regular costs, but they're very good workers or good workers.
Let me take a look at the.
Yeah, like I think that sounds okay then. Anton marries one of them. We get technically we're getting a discount.
We also should get something else because we have to think about this. Is like there are only 3 brothers to marry. We're not like some shitter noble family. We're not even a middling noble family. We are the up-and-comer noble family who literally fucking slay dragons.
And we're about to marry to save some money on a keep? Like,
this isn't just a small political connection. This would be like the biggest connection. It's like marrying fucking Obama's daughter.
Yeah, listen.
It's a big fucking deal.
Imric might take one of their daughters as a concubine. That's what's currently on the table.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to insult them at all. But we're going to need huge discounts, and the daughter's going to have to be smoking hot. I'm not talking 18. I'm talking like 16 out of
16?
18.
That's asking too much, mate.
Well,
Nah.
they can't promise you daughter hotness. That's going to come up to a die roll, right?
Okay.
There are 4 heads of the craftsman.
We got 4 die rolls.
Right. And only one of them. How do you want to say? They're sort of like all equals, but sort of like the Joint Chiefs of Staff have a chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, like a first among equals. The stone mason is the first among equals here, and so they would like to have their daughter marry into the McGarry family.
Let's just, before we do this though, let's say Anton was to marry the daughter of some rich lord. What kind of dowry are we talking about? Because it might be that the dowry of marrying a lord's daughter is worth more than the discount that these guys are willing to offer us.
Well, right.
Wait, don't we usually pay the dowry?
The family of the daughter pays the dowry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fucking based.
Yeah. So, I was gonna say, it's not so much a financial discount; it's them being willing to take this job because they've got other jobs lined up.
What are they doing? What's so important?
Everyone's got shit that needs building, and they can divide their workers and send them off and doing this. This guy needs a bridge. That guy needs a tower. There's a wizard over here. There's a fortress over there. Here's a road that needs to be fit. There's lots of stuff to do.
I mean, this is a whole fortress, though. This is big money. Like,
so we would have talked to her mom. How much are we expecting to get for a dowry? Are we talking like 10k gold? Or are we talking like 500,000 gold?
No, we are closer in the 1 to 10,000 range of.
Okay,
what?
So that doesn't matter.
1,000 gold to marry a McGarry?
well, the whole cost of the fort's about 20,000 gold, so that's a lot.
Wait, I thought it was 200,000.
No, it's 200,000.
Oh, it's 200,000. True.
That was the first thing quoted. 200,000. Yeah.
The family of the daughter of the wife, it's their value that you pull from. So if you marry like a minor noble, or like a noble of some renown, then it's probably around 1,000 gold. If you're marrying like a fancy pantsy noble, it's probably in the 10,000 gold section, maybe a little higher. But that's a lot.
I mean, what are we thinking, brothers? This would get us not only with the builders. This is like the craftsmen. And these are very valuable people to probably have under our wing as well.
Well, it's a 25% reduction in the cost. If we think it's going to be about 200,000 gold, 25% reduction is about 50,000 gold's worth. So it is better than the dowry because it's 0.75 for good right versus 1.
And I think we're also going to get other benefits out of it. Not just that would be my goal. How hot is the chick? Anton asked the man.
One available daughter because it needs to be. They just don't. It's not any woman that they want you to marry, right? It's the one who's positioned, who has the right motivation, the right planning, the right attitude to enhance the.
I want to see it in. We want to see it in roll 20.
Yeah, it's gotta be in roll 20.
We gotta see it in roll 20, Koibu.
You don't trust me?
No, we want to see it. We do trust you.
It's just for the joy of it.
Wait, can you just show the dice then?
No. I want to see it in roll 20.
Okay, are we rolling 40, 61?
Oh,
we rolling
we fuck.
3d6?
Oh, we fuck.
It's a random woman. Does it matter, Anton?
True.
So this is like Anton waiting in the waiting room, right? As they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
Anton's,
I'll
like,
just go and
pacing.
get her now.
He's like, I just need to see the daughter. Just let me
And
see.
then
her.
this woman walks in, but it turns out she's a dressmaid. And then another one walks in, and it turns out she's the makeup girl. And then eventually, she's walking in. She's still walking in.
Roll the first two just to warm up the dice because we haven't rolled anything yet.
You
Wait,
should
wait.
roll one by one.
Just
You
roll
should
one by one. One by
Yeah,
one.
just roll one.
Yeah.
Was it
D60, 66.
Yeah.
1d6.
so-
Let's see it.
These first 3 dice don't actually count.
Oh, okay.
These are just
warm up.
warm-ups.
Warm
Okay.
ups.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
Oh, no, Koibu.
Right.
Oh my god.
No, I don't think we can now because those are such good dice. There's
Oh
no way
man,
we could.
Koibu. What are you doing, Koibu?
Yeah, that was the maid. That was the maid. That was the first girl who walked in.
The 15 hotness ladies made.
Anton's like, okay, I'd probably marry her.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh no.
And
that's
she's
the
like,
man.
oh yeah,
It's
let me
like,
get my yeah.
Fuck.
All
Let me
right.
get my sister.
Okay,
All right.
Koibu.
Here is the one and only woman within the Craftsman's Guild that they would want to marry to just take on this job.
Okay, slowly. Let us. Okay.
You know, you can't argue with that. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
It's a
That's
little
fine.
Brothers all look at each other. We nod. It's like,
Yeah.
how's her personality?
This is solidly above average.
Charisma
right?
roll, Neal. Charisma roll. Let's
Yeah,
see
we
it.
need a charisma roll.
Table over
Yeah.
here. Oh, a charisma roll. That's a great. Yeah.
Can we roll her stats?
Actually, her charisma is going to be 4061 because this is the highly motivated.
Yeah.
This is the one that they want in this position because she's got the wherewithal. to
She's
make
savvy.
Most of these political things.
You sure you don't want to do a stat point by on this?
No. We'll do this. I'll roll these one by one for you guys, okay? And we'll drop the
Okay.
lowest. So here's the first d6.
No,
That's
good.
okay. That we can drop one.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's
Great.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's get a good 6. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get a good 6 in
Nice.
there.
Get a good 6. We need a 6.
At the minimum, this is an 11,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
We're just
it's
rolling for
okay.
better than 11.
right? So this is average right here. It can't
Yeah.
get worse than average. Yeah.
Okay. You know, I mean, they're builders. You know, what is she? They don't have time
Yeah.
to teach her like etiquette and shit.
Everything is me
How-
looks
how-
generally disappointed.
How smart is she?
This is
You know,
so
Anton asked her
stupid.
like a math question.
All right. So that's charisma,
Okay.
and this is int.
So we're at a 12 hotness, at 11 charisma. Not bad.
Do you want these one by one as well?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This is a 3d6 or is this a 46er as well?
3d6.
Okay.
This is a 3d6.
Let's just get a
Yeah.
let's get a 5 or
Just the
6
one
on this one. We need a 5 or 6 on this. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Now let's get like a 5.
We need a high one.
We need a 5 here.
It's gonna be a 2, unfortunately.
Shut
She's
up,
not-
Nick. God, you fucked us, Nick.
She's still average.
Well,
That's fine, yeah.
okay, yeah.
That's average intellect. She's not stupid. She's Anton's intellect, you know?
She's-
He asked her a math question. He doesn't know the answer to it. She doesn't either. He's like, yeah, you know, it's fine.
Sounds right. Yeah.
How healthy is she looking? How many kids is she gonna bear?
Yeah, let's get a
How wide
constitution.
are her hips?
how
Constitution.
wide are her-
Let's
yeah,
go.
Constitution.
All right.
It's gonna be a dump truck. All right, I'm like,
Okay.
this is the one.
Oh, my god.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Have
She
many
is-
children.
Yeah,
She's
she
looking
will have
good from the
many
back,
kids.
You know.
There we go.
She's sturdy.
We're gonna have tons of Anton Juniors running around.
Sturdy wife, sturdy life, you guys.
Yeah, that's good.
It shouldn't be so funny.
Anton he shakes his head. He's like, okay. I could probably handle this. I'm
Something to
trying to
grab
figure out how to
onto
do
at
like
least.
a.
Or dex or wisdom for you, right?
Maybe
Anton is the
dexterity, that could
wisest.
help, right?
Dexterity could help. But how does he finagle that, you know? How does he say like I need to see Oh, he wants to see how good she is at dancing. That's probably
it.
a dexterous
Amazing.
move.
Yeah.
So Anton will invite her to dance. You know, they'll prance around.
That's just making me laugh
I'm
a
gonna roll
lot.
this one straight up then.
That's
Just
fine.
Flat 3d6. No more
Holy
score rolling,
shit.
you guys.
Okay.
Just average? Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
How perceptive is she? He tried to undo her hair.
How
while
about
she was-
Anton tries to take her into his arms for a kiss? See how strong she can push back. Check for her strength.
No, Anton's not gonna do that.
No, that's not
Canceled.
true.
Oh, that's a little,
That's a little
uncomfortable.
weird.
That's too far, Stephen. Wow.
Wrong
But, you know,
campaign for that.
her ability to pick up what's going on around her, her
Yeah.
perceptiveness.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty
not
average
bad.
down the line.
She's average, but she's sturdy.
Can you pick? Can you pick me up? Anton asks.
She looks at you with a little curiosity.
Of course I can. Boom. Oh,
No, weak.
Oh, she's a gentle lady here.
God, how'd you get 6 strength and 15
Those
con?
are good
That's-
stats. Those are fine stats. Okay.
She's a little short.
We might as well see how wise is she. Ask her a question about like what's your
Anton.
what's the purpose of life?
Well, yeah, what's the purpose of life? Anton being 18 wisdom, you know, he's got a purpose.
True.
Maybe she's quite wise.
You know, I think part of the reason this person is charismatic and wise, I think the two of them roll into play as why she would want this. So this is gonna be
4061.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 12.
Nice.
Okay.
And how much does she appreciate food?
Rope skill.
Strength is 6. Dex is 10.
10. Int
Con
was
is 15. Int was 10. Wiz 12.
11 charisma. 12 hotness.
PCP was perception was 10 and hot was what was it? 12?
11.
11.
Con is 16, I think.
Ooh, is it 16? I think. Yeah, I think you were. No, yeah, it is 16.
Yeah, it is 16.
All right. Her appreciation of fine food.
Fuck, her hotness was 12, so. But.
Okay. Average appreciation for fine food.
That's just a decent. That's a decent character right there. That was rolled. That's better than any of our characters, I think.
Yeah. Highest. That's 16 con.
Yeah.
Okay. Anton will talk to his brothers. This could work. She's a pretty nice lady. She's about as smart as I am, so she's very intelligent.
She seems nice, Anton.
She does seem nice.
She seems nice. And ultimately, I think this is worth more than any dowry we're going to get from any of the other lords around here.
I nod.
Plus,
I
who's
think
to say
this
we won't
relationship
need...
is good. We'll probably need craftsmen in the future.
Exactly. And this is not just the stonemasons. This is the whole guild.
Mm-hmm. And they'll come work for you.
Think of the wedding presents.
I shouldn't say highly skilled. They are, where's the worker skill over here?
Very skilled?
They are good skilled. Their skill is good. And their morale is base high. So you'd have good skill, high morale. Now you also have some stone giant friends, don't you? You've got a pair of them.
Yeah.
So if you can do something with the stone giant, you can probably get those 2 stone giants to help you, but you might need a couple more stone giants. So if you can get a couple more stone giants, then we can bump you guys all the way up to very good skill.
I agree that I will marry her. However, I will only marry her in the temple of Velthara that they are going to construct in the castle.
Oh, absolutely.
So if they want the marriage, they better work on that fast.
That is a good deal. They will take
deal.
that.
Nice work.
That's good. No marriage until after it happens. And the marriage is supposed to be in the Temple of Velthara. So if you spurn her, then she's got a good call of vengeance against you. I like it.
True. That's based.
And if they spurn you and do something shitty and build it poorly,
I'm going to kill all of them.
That fucked, right? Yeah, if that happens, they're in big trouble.
okay.
I mean, hold on. Let me see what's in my gear tab. I'm
going to read about stone giants. What do stone giants like? Give her a tinderbox.
Do I mean, have our stone giants made any friends yet?
We haven't asked.
Fucking kicking it, yo.
Yeah, but they've been chilling in that cave now for months. Have they made other friends that we can see if they can all come together and help?
There are no other stone giants, unfortunately, within the mountain range.
Oh.
I got a good idea. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Quick good idea. I take her outside. I find a basin where water's in it. I'm sure that's somewhere. And I'll ask her to what is your most favorite memory from your life? What's your happiest memory?
Oh, it's you proposing to her.
I'm gonna time pull it for her.
Her happiest memory. would be this moment back before her mother died in childbirth. Back when it was her mother, her younger sister, and her father, all together sitting on a hill overlooking the bleak sea on a really nice day when all the fog had blown away and there's just a little bit of wind, and she and her sister are like doing somersaults and cartwheels down this hill when it was just her family together on a little vacation a long time ago. One of those quiet, happy moments where there's nothing else going on and not a care in the world but for the now and the here.
Anton will time pull it. I think I should have a 90% chance because I am 9th level now.
Roll me a D100. If it gets in the edge zone, we'll do some math.
We're good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. She can see the moment reflected in the pool, and her eyes will widen as she realizes that this is that same moment that she can look back on. And she grabs either side of the basin and brings her face close, letting her hair fall into the water just a little bit as she observes the moment in all of its majestic glory. I will give her a charisma check. Okay. She keeps her restraint and goes quiet for a moment, watching her and her younger sister tumble around for a little bit. And when the image in the pool clears, she looks up at you with eyes wide, blinks them a few times.
Anton will get on his knee because I think we agreed as brothers that we're going to do this. He'll take his blue dragon ring off his finger and he'll put it on hers and welcome her to the McGarry family. Anton's smooth.
Nice, Mom.
All right. Great craftsman, more or less recruited. Essentially.
If there's only 2 stone giants, I'm not sure what else we can do. But having a read through my stone giant entry in the monster manual, if we could get them to help build the quarry, they could, live there. Could be like a little bit of a community for them. If they'd continue to help with the quarry, we could give them goats, deliver them bolts of cloth. These are all things that they like. They like to have fresh
whatever
milk.
the stone giants want, we'll give them. Yeah.
Yeah, like if they know.
I was even going to say they could even live like in our fucking keep area.
Well, that's right. They might want to live at the base of the mountains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be happy in our cape, right?
Yeah,
it's too small, yeah.
Well, and I think
they'd have to go out and
shit, right?
Yeah, sure.
They'd have to go out and contact other stone giants and be like, "We've got a pretty sweet deal here. If you want to come and work for a bit, you can come and live here."
True. Their own little combine.
Got like
Can
6
we not
goats.
just find other stone giants? Is there no like detect monster and like find them? I'm sure that they know of other stone giants, right?
Yeah,
I
they
think
can tell you
them.
where other stone giants reside. What were we going to say?
I think I did hear about some stone giants living in, where was it? Krolog Ridge, Krolog Peak, something around here.
Can you also give the wife a
giants.
name? I need a wife's name because I need to put her on this character sheet.
Right.
My wife.
Let's take it from the Patreon.
You can.
Yeah, is there a Patreon
name? Yes, we should grab a patron name. Let's see. We have Neal. We have Alex. Whitewick for a weapon. Minor family name Kohn, Kohn, Kohn. Lady Kohn, but that would be her last name.
Well, what about Alex, but with a Y?
Alex?
With a Y? Not with an E.
What?
ALYX, something like that.
Yeah, Alex is a woman's name.
Okay. ALYX. Alex McGarry.
McGarry, yes.
Cool.
Not yet.
Yeah, what was her previous name? Can we just make that the Cone so we can get them something?
She's not noble, so she doesn't have a previous name.
Oh, true. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Cool. Okay, I guess we'll talk to the stone giants. I'll give them a bunch of food. This is probably the night.
We should have called her Destiny. That would have been great.
Fuck.
That is a good woman's name.
Her name's Alex, yeah.
And you could have
this is the night that we all teleport in from killing Justina. We're looking over our new lands. This is where we're going to live. And we'll talk to the stone giants and ask them if they'd be interested in helping in any way they could. And if they know of any other stone giants, if we can also partition their help.
Yeah, we need a quarry at the base of the mountains. We know that they're particularly suited to that kind of thing. And if they'd be willing to help and contact more of their friends, we'd be willing to provide them whatever they need or want.
Anything.
Goats, cloth, food, anything.
They have friends, but their friends live far, far, far away, across the vast sea on the great continent beyond. They live in the Steamwall Mountains.
We could bring them. We could bring them with the amulet.
Not only that. Oh, yeah. If we can bring them with the amulet, that fucking works.
We could just teleport them right to the Dragon's Lair. All we'd have to do is go and make friends with them and get them to trust us enough to hold their hand.
Well, they could probably write us a note. They just have to convince them to move.
Do it while we're over there.
Okay. So if you can get those stone giants, then we can bump you to the highest level of skill. And I think your morale is just going to be high. I was looking at the entries for very high morale. And I think considering the dangers of the place that you're in right now, that's probably just untenable. Unless you have some really crazy...
He's going to do a big speech. Big speech, because they're building...
More than a big speech. You know, this is...
What else are you looking for?
I'm not looking for anything in particular. If you guys...
I mean, I have followers in the Red Coast that are literally fanatics that I can...
That is true.
Get them to do also castle building.
They can help with like, the crap labor, like the whole shit.
How many labor?
And they could also move here, which would be sick.
How long does it take to build, and how many workers do we need?
Right. We should actually finish up the rest of this. That's a great.
Well, because if it's like 2 months, which sounds fast, but like, because I'm pretty sure my followers would count as like fanatic followers, right?
Yeah, they would. Well, I would
and then I read earlier in this manual that like every level is how many men's worth of work you can do. I don't have to go back and look.
If you are dedicating yourself to building the castle, you guys are going to be running around fighting things.
Well, yeah, but if I have 8 followers that are level 5 each, then they can do the work of together like 40 men, and if they count as like fanatic followers. But that's why I'm asking how long it would take. Because if it's like a year endeavor, I don't want them tied up for a year. I'd want them like.
Right. So the way that this book works is it calculates the costs as if everything were to be done in a year. And you can double the cost to get it done in 25% less time, and you can double the cost again to get it all the way down to 50% time. So you can get it done in 6 months if you quadruple the costs. And similarly, you can increase the time to decrease the costs. But the base factor is for doing this in 1 year. And let's see. So our total factor right now is going to be 1.25 times 1.25 times 1.25 times 0.75 times 0.75 is going to be 1.01.
So
just before I guess we do any argument or like any calculations real quick, I'm just going to argue that maybe we can get it 25% faster so we can get like without the doubling of the increase, just because like we did the marriage thing. I think that might add on like a huge benefit.
I didn't follow that exactly.
So because we did the marriage thing, and because it's like actually a huge benefit for them as well as us, maybe we can get a free extra 20, like it's 25% quicker, just base. Does that make sense?
No, because that's what these factors that we've already included are.
Oh, damn it.
But Neal, the number you've calculated, does that assume high morale and high skill, or very high skill and very high morale? High and high.
He's going to do both, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so we could increase it by another 0.75 squared.
Yeah.
I also think we can get fanatic because of our followers.
Maybe.
If we could get both of those,
but maybe, yeah.
Then we could reduce it by 45%, more or less.
grand is 600 time, but there's 2 of them, so 1200. Gold is 3800. And the Great Building is just 1. Wrong numbers over here. This is 10. Large buildings, you need 2 of them. So 288 and 9. I think there's a 0 missing on these. Okay. 3 medium buildings. What's no, I can do it over here. 96 times 3 is 200, 288, and 9,000. 1 small stone building. 64, 2,000. 1 small round stone tower. Tower small round is 720 plus 1,200. And the walls. Oof. We're doing 5 of these towers, not just 1. 600. Nice walls. $2,880 gold. Walls are expensive. 2 small gatekeeps. Oh shit, those gatekeeps are expensive. Holy shit. Drawbridge. We didn't even factor moat yet, but we can do that. 40 by 550. And 1 large bridge is going to be essentially a medium stone building. And moat is going to be 96 plus a little bit more. We'll just round it just to 100 moat factors. By 1,000. Okay, that's cheap. Probably a little bit of digging in here, which we're not going to do because there's a bunch of ditches for the underground factors. But then we'll just get to the big ballpark right here.
That's a brass tacks.
Yeah.
I assume that you remember you cut the gold from the book because the book price is outrageous. If Koibu's talking, we can't hear you.
No, I'm not talking. I'm just
okay.
typing.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just ignoring you.
So there's just a lot of numbers in front of me.
No,
I'm trying to play effectively. Whew. Okay, so without factoring in any time, without factoring in the climate and the geography and all that other jazz, we're looking at 193,000 gold and 12,856 man days, something.
Would tearing down the vampire castle help at all or no? Workstone already there, ruined.
There's some stone there. The wood there is all trash. You might be able to get a little bit of material from that, but it's not going to be nearly enough to make a dent in here. We're talking like
that's
pennies
fine.
on the dollar. Yeah.
Cool.
And so if you do this at high skill and high morale, then all these costs go up by 10%. And if you get very high skill...
Wait, down by 10%, you mean?
No.
25. Why?
Because 1.25 times 1.25 times 1.25 times 0.75 times 0.75 equals 1.1. And that is the multiplier on everything.
Yeah, but you're assuming high, right?
I'm assuming high. If you get very high
and it goes down,
morale, it goes down by 28%, 27%.
25%.
I got 0.73 for that factor.
Should be 0.7. Well, 0.75 times 0.75 is 0.56
for mixed hills, 1.25 for scrub forest, 1.25 for mixed resources, 0.75 for high morale, 0.5 for skill brings me to 0.732421.875.
All right, sorry, I thought you said that was 1.01 before.
Oh, I did. I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
I lied. I misread. I can't do words.
So
those extra stone giants are going to bring your total cost down by like 37%.
Okay. We'll get those. Since we're doing like a planning episode, I guess, can we try and sell a magic item then? Or either sell a magic item or like sell a dragon scale because we need cash. We need a little bit of cash, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is all to do it in a full 1 year time, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we wanted to do it in half a year, it'd be
800,000.
Quadruple.
Yeah.
Quadruple.
So much, yeah.
It's too much.
It's too much, yeah.
The people of Drekis are not in a place to really be throwing around huge piles of money in order for magic stuff, right? They're in a state of war. People are in sort of a frugal resource hoarding state.
Who isn't these days?
Well, the only people who aren't in a state of war would be the people over in Solemn or on another continent where maybe the war is over, or maybe the armies of Rossi have massed huge piles of wealth with which they are willing to trade for epic magic items. But that would mean selling magic items to the armies of the goddess of death and destruction.
Senegal might be able to trade.
Mm-hmm.
Senegal, I mean, she traded a fucking dragon a bunch of money, so.
That is true.
I will get a messenger over to go to the Red Coast. I want to move all my followers to here, and they're gonna fucking work. Yeah, they're not gonna live inside the keep, but they're gonna live, I guess, near here.
You're gonna need families for your soldiers, right?
We don't need to pay all of this money right now, right?
No.
You do not need this up front.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we're
So we
making
can get it going.
I guess.
Well, I mean, we're making money passively from our people because we run the Riverland, so we should be getting some passive income from that.
How much is that?
I don't know if we ever figured out exactly. That might be enough to cover it right there, maybe.
I think he calculated it.
I did a calculation stream where we sorted it out.
Essentially, we need about 17,000 gold a month for 12 months to build it.
Oh, also, to try and help out with the money, obviously this isn't going to be in your calculation, Koibu. I have a bunch of spells that I can cast to make shit more fertile and stuff, and I think it would actually be omega worth for me to do it. So
I mean, I can cast fabricate as well to work unworked stone into stone bricks. I mean, if
I was talking about
if we'd spend a significant amount of time trying to help, we could help, but I'm not sure that we're really going to spend that much time.
Yeah, the problem is that we have to be there for weeks. Or
you're talking about the taxing thing, right?
Yeah, I'm just talking about the taxing thing.
We'll bring in 7.5 million copper a year. So 600,000 copper a month, 6,000 gold a month in profit.
Not bad.
That's after paying for all of their workers. That's after paying for all the sheriffs and yada 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 yadas.
That's over 1/3 of the cost.
Yeah. What if I do like I guess like let's say in a year, it's gonna be free to calculate later, I guess. I have plant growth. There's that. And I also have age plant. Age plant to the lesser extent, but I think plant growth will actually help them a fuckload.
Enables the caster to choose either of 2 different uses, causes normal vegetation. That's not what you want.
Nope.
The
Second
second use affects a 1 mile square area. Makes a saving throw based on the caster's level to see if the spell takes effect. If successful, the spell renders plants more vigorous, fruitful, hardy, increasing yields by 20 to 50% given a normal growing season. Wow.
And I can cast 8 of these a day.
Wow. So you could go through the Riverlands and plant growth all over the place.
Yeah. I can plant growth all their farms.
Which I think we would just translate to a straight 20 to 50% increase
in taxes.
Revenue. Yeah. If you could cover the entire Riverlands with it, then it would be a 20 to 50% increase in that.
What about age plant? Would that do anything? I don't know if there's like a super expensive tree that will make a bunch of fruit, but it needs like a long time to grow. And I can just make those grow instantly to where they're going to be producing fruit and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, avocado trees take about 10 to 20 years in order before they start producing really good fruit in high quantities. So age plant can help you with that. You get 1 tree per level.
I get 9 right now, and I get 3 casting, or I get 6 castings in a day.
So you could walk through the cleric of vengeance, walking through growing plants and these sorts of things. How does that sit with your deity? How cool is she with you turning away?
Why the fuck would she give me these spells? Also, the way I think about it is I've already created vengeance for these people. Now I am alleviating their pains because they were fucked over all these years. So this is, this is like reparations for them. Yeah.
But it's also directly benefiting Anton and his efforts.
It absolutely is.
It's true. Okay. I will factor these considerations into final costs a little bit later.
Okay, I would also say if you are going to factor in that 20 to 50%, I'd say it'd be much higher, much closer to the 50% thing, because technically the initial planting and all of that is going to be like an upfront, like static capital investment. And like if you do all the work to plant a fruit, if it grows twice as big, you don't have to do twice as much work. That's just like pure like extra. You have to.
Right, but also the farmers, while they are plentiful, aren't always the greatest source of income, right? Okay. The skilled craftsman in an area, someone who like makes metal, works metal, is going to make like 100 times as much in a year as someone else. So it's just trying to like even it out a little bit, because you're right, you will get a greater than 50% return on that.
Also, I'll be using some of this money for a big temple of Elthara inside the town. Anton's true goal is like it's to convert a good amount of these people to worshiping and believing, you know?
Okay. So in this session, we've designed your castle. We haven't laid it out room by room yet. We don't necessarily need to do that. I expect some people will come up with some layouts for us. And we can do that in our spare time. We've secured another engagement for Anton. We've lost one engagement and secured another in the same breath. We've got a plan to go get some stone giants to bring down the cost of your castle. We've sorted out some of the stuff in the Riverlands, and you have avoided any sort of conflict with Kel William.
We gotta roll for our officers as well.
Roll what for them? Oh, right.
See what level they are, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Each one of you, give me a D100. We're just going to use the level. We're not going to use any of the other gear. I will gear them customly.
Yes. Big.
80. That is a 6th level fighter for Anton.
Nice.
Okay, I got 67.
That's a 6th level fighter for you as well. Yeah. 6th level fighters across the board. Excellent.
Nice.
Easy peasy.
Can you pull names off the sheet if there are extra names?
Absolutely. Nick. Your captain, your leader's name is the lowly man known as Neal. You can boss him around as much as you like.
Amazing,
Serve
amazing.
you.
Best.
He's a bit slow in the head, but I like him.
Tell me more.
I need to get to know him a bit first, you know.
All right. Anton, your captain is Brengang.
No, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
you know what? No,
that's
Yeah, I'll
right.
take it. Brain gang. All right, it's brain gang. That's good.
Is that what it's supposed to be? Is
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
inside?
it's supposed to be brain gang. Yeah.
It's good.
Unbelievable.
I figure you guys know what this is more than I do.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Some sort of meme.
And Tyrael, we don't have a third person name.
Name's
so
Vosh.
Vash.
Vosh. No, I'm just checking. I didn't call him that. Vosh.
I like Vash from
Vash.
Trigun. Vash.
No.
Your
There
guys'
we
name.
go.
Can we roll their stats as well?
Yeah, 46 for physical stats, 3d6 for mental stats.
We're going down the line, or
Sorry, take it back. 46. You can rearrange. I'll let you guys design your own NPCs.
how many do we need to roll?
They definitely, they're fighters though, right?
Yeah, they're fighters.
Fighters. They're all fighters. Yeah, they get 7 stats.
Go first, Nick.
4061.
Once upon a time, somebody showed me how to put in a command and it would just give you like the 7 stats.
It's more fun to
can
roll.
do-
them.
Bracket 4060 61 bracket, and then just 2 3 4 5 6 7. Do this, and you can get your stats like that.
How do I do that, Neil? Just type it to me in Discord.
Yeah, put it in.
That's gonna give you bad stats, though.
Nah.
That, but you just do that with a space 7 times.
Okay.
So this,
Yeah, I told you it's gonna give you shitty stats, dude.
All right, it's pretty good.
16. Those are pretty good. Yeah, you don't need the /R.
Oh, he had a 17. Okay. Oh my.
No, I don't need that.
Holy shit!
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
Nice
that's
stats,
giving
man.
bad stats. Yeah,
It does,
bad
I knew
stats.
it. Can you give me a character sheet? I just want to throw it on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. I know who Steve's re-rolling as if he fucking dies. Jesus.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, I need to write this down. I'm just going to send it to you, Neil, so I know how to find it, okay?
Okay.
And these guys are our guard captains.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are your 3 leaders. You can probably might want to call them something higher than captain. I think colonel's next in line in our simplified military ranks.
Do these guys just sit at our keep, basically, right?
They're in
They-
charge of the fighters, yeah.
Okay.
We go lieutenant, captain, major, colonel, general. So these guys would probably be closer to majors. Well, actually, they're technically closer to captains. Captains generally run a group of 100 soldiers at a time. Majors generally run about 400 soldiers or a regiment. So captain does maintain the right rank. I guess we
Neil.
didn't call your other captain of the guards. They really should have been lieutenants, but it's fine. And then how do
Lieutenant,
I
you mean?
spell your guy's name? MrMouton? How would you like that?
I'll put it in there.
I'll put it in there.
Right. Mr. Mouton. There you go. You've all been assigned characters.
Thank you.
And Nick, you wanted that spy spell book.
Oh, yeah.
I will assign it to you right now.
Amazing.
There you go.
Please share with the class because I found that.
Yeah. Neil, you can share it with me if you want. Just giving a little look here. I'm seeing one spell that's pretty good.
What are we?
Non-detection, which would protect us from scrying. Other than that, somehow they've got Dispel Magic as a second level spell. I don't know how that's happened.
That is weird. That should not.
There's one good spell, non-detection. That's the only one. It's pretty good though.
Base.
Watery double actually. It's pretty cool.
How the hell did they get detect magic as a
Let's go 9 int 7 charisma. My guy's an asshole, just like the Brain Gang. Oh wait, actually that's bad. Never mind. He's gonna be leading soldiers. He needs to be 14 charisma.
That's something I want to do right before we end, Neal. And you can respond to it next time, but only right before we end.
Oh, okay. Don't respond to it now, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the last thing I say, and then we can end, and then you can talk. We can follow up on it next time.
Okay.
Okay. So only when at the end of the episode, when everything else is done, I'll do this thing.
Okay.
Is that now?
All right. We're just about there. Is there? I think next session you guys are going to go do dragons in
Solemn.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And also look for those stone giants in Solemn.
Yep.
In the Steamwall Mountains.
Oh, also, Neal, we were going to get an idea of what spells Scoria could cast from the Speak with Dead.
Oh, true.
Oh.
If you've not got that yet, don't rush it because that's important.
I won't rush it. Yeah. That's an important thing. It's not time sensitive. We'll get that. Sorry.
Did you guys want to do any more Speak with Dead or one time pool? Anybody have any good ideas or no?
I mean, you could time pool. No, it's fucked up.
I can't think of anything.
I think this is a good stopping point.
Okay.
I think we've done everything we need to do, and we can come back next week at our regular time.
Maybe.
While the party goes off.
Maybe.
There's some weird stuff going on next Thursday on the 30th, so we might do it a day before or after. I don't know. We'll see. Because it's getting close to my time to fly back to the US. So yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, enjoy the full moon tonight, everybody. And
Wait, let me do my thing. Okay. I cast Sending to Senegal. Can I do that? Does that work? I try it. Senegal, the mage.
Let me read the sending spell. When did you pick up sending?
I think when I leveled up to 9.
Okay. Can contact a single creature with whom he is familiar and whose name and appearance are known. You are not familiar. You do not have their appearance. You do have their name.
Wait, he does have their parents.
We time pulled them.
her
Yeah, but
multiple
she's
times.
wearing that veil. Remember?
Appearance does appearance mean their face, or does it just mean how they look? Okay,
Yeah,
so it won't work.
Yeah. I think she is. I intentionally had her obfuscate herself because she's trying to
Avoid this kind of thing. Okay, sure, never mind then.
All right, fuck it. Sending Scoria then.
I send Scoria.
What do you send her?
Middle finger.
Yeah, you'll have to try harder than that. We're coming for you.
Wait, ask her if she wants to trade. We got fire rings that would help us against her. Maybe she wants to trade a lot of money for those. Help her castle speed up.
Okay. Guess
So
that's
you
it.
send. You got to try.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, you'll have to try harder. Justina was only the first.
Wow.
Something like that. A vague threat, She can respond if she wants.
I hope she does.
We'll bring it in. We'll bring her response in next time.
Cool.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys in 10 days or whatever. I don't know. Whenever we're back next.
Yeah. Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.
Have fun. See you guys later. Riverina. Bye.